Hello, everyone. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Um, yeah, there was no intro song today. There was no any of that. Um, where where do we even begin? I'm trying to turn my phone down. I was running around today, guys, because I had so much stuff going on today, and I saw you guys' DMs, I saw you guys' comments, I saw all of that. And I wanted to or I came on here and created a space that you know, my River TV family, that we could have our own conversation, right? Everybody has their own conversation, but that we can have our own conversation. I haven't been live streaming like that um at all in a while. Like I haven't live streamed in a really long time. And I honestly wasn't planning on live streaming anytime until like maybe next week or so. And I was like, randomly yesterday, I was like, oh, maybe I should live stream tomorrow or something and like, have a conversation with my people. And I just want to kind of start off first off by acknowledging all of these comments in the comment section. Um, I want to start off. I have to gather myself because it's shocking, guys, for all of us together. I don't know Kevin Samuels as a friend. Like, let me just I feel how you guys feel. Exactly who known him for a really long time, for years, and it's a lot to process, you know? Um, I don't really even know where to begin. This is not something I even plan to do or anything like that, but I'm just gonna be um transparent with you guys. So let me start from the beginning, okay? As you guys can see, listen, I was like out on the street running errands. I was not even remotely prepared for this. But let me start off by talking about how I got introduced to Kevin Samuels to begin with. Okay? So, I had already had my YouTube channel. I was more of doing like just all types of stuff on my YouTube channel, like um vlogging and like hair stuff and all kinds of different stuff on my channel, right? And one day when I was not active on my channel at all, I was not on social media. My man, he was like, "Oh, there's this guy that is like about to be that like people are trying to boycott to be canceled." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Yeah, there's this guy, like he just tells the truth, and a lot of women are trying to sign some kind of thing to get him canceled." And he was like, "But you have to hear how this guy talks." So I'm like, "Okay, yeah, like normal thing, you eat dinner, you watch something on TV, maybe you watch like a movie or maybe you watch whatever the case is." And the thing is that when he told me about him, me and my man were sitting there and we're eating food and we are watching a Kevin Samuels video. And it was not like, I don't even know what the video was at the time. Okay. I have no idea what the video was at the time. And we're watching the video and like, as I'm like watching the conversation, he's asking how old is she, dress size, height, all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like listening to the conversation, okay, cool. And then when he started like spitting some real knowledge to this lady, right? Like when he started being like really transparent and authentic, I froze because I said, wow, like I've never heard, because my man and I have conversations all the time, right? Like very good, deep conversations where he's very transparent with me about a man's thinking, a man's thought process, And so we have very in-depth conversations. And I was watching, his live stream, and I said, wow, I've never seen somebody that's so public talk about the truth, okay, in this way, right? Like I've never seen somebody who's so public, who has this big platform, just speak to women and tell them the truth about their situations and their lifestyles. And in that moment, I was just listening. I was just a listener, right? I didn't know anything about any manosphere. I just watched this one video on YouTube and I was just like, wow, that's crazy. And then it became like, my man would come home and I'm like, hey, like, you have another one of those videos? Let's watch it. And we would like watch here and there. And that's when I started to kind of put two and two together. And I was like, well, why is he getting so much backlash? Like, why is it that so many people have so much to say, or whatever the case is? Fast forward randomly, I was like, I feel like as a woman, being a woman that understands where he's coming from, right? Like I understand what it is that he's trying to say. I understand what it is that he's saying. I understand the mindset that this man has. And I feel like the only reason why a lot of women or females are trying to cancel him is because they don't really understand what's being expressed. So that's when I did my first reaction video. And when I did it, you know, it definitely was was like, whoa, and kept having the conversation, kept getting DMs from like females like I didn't see it this way and see it that way or whatever, for a long period of time. And just to slightly say, but not to even go into depth, it even reached to a point where a lot of Kevin Samuel supporters would comment on my page and were like, "Oh, Kevin doesn't like people using his content, and why are you using this?" and blah 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 blah. And I had to respond to people and be like, "He's very well aware of who I am and what I'm talking about." I received a message from him at one point on Instagram, and it was kind of shocking because I was like just going through like my Instagrams and stuff like that, like I normally do. And I received a message from him, and like I said, again, without going into too much detail, it was very much like, I see you. You know what I mean? Like very much like that type of vibe. And I continue with my channel. It even became a talking point that people were saying, oh, everybody's just using Kevin Samuel's talking point, and people are, just using him for cloud and whatever the case is. And it even came to this long space that I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to do the reaction videos to that anymore. I'm going to focus on some other aspects of the conversation, because it became this thing where people would just kind of like pop up, do some reaction videos and to Kevin, and then feel like they're a part of a certain space, and blase blase, so on and so forth, right? And before I go any further, I think it's very interesting. It's very interesting because the same thing that people were condemning other people for doing, having conversations, even doing reaction videos of Kevin Samuels. I'm not necessarily talking about myself, but I'm talking about like the people who just come up and they just, to support it or to get clout, whatever the reason is. Whatever the reason is. These people are a piece and a key to allowing the legacy to continue and to move forward. Mm. Allowing the message to continue and continue and continue in so many different aspects. One thing that I'm very grateful for is that we're all around in the time that Kevin was around. When they say like the saying, like you were born for a time like this, like Kevin was definitely born and made for a time like this to initiate these conversations that bring so much depth from women and from men. What you see, what you don't see, what you don't like, what you're into, what you're not into. It just starts a whole deeper conversation. He was able to is able to get the people talking, make you think a little more, make you search a little deeper in yourself and see, like, damn, is it me he's talking to? Or, so many people on the internet have said that. So many people. And I'm so grateful that every opportunity that I have, whether he was on Instagram Live, I haven't watched Kevin in a long time. And it's so interesting that the day before I actually did a reaction video to a Kevin, because a lot of people were like, hey, like, we kind of met you around them and we wanted to, see some more. We want to see you do some more. And I just said it in that reaction video, like, oh, okay, well, I haven't been doing it, but people have asked me to. I'm going to do that. And that was the first time in a long time that I had actually watched a Kevin video on YouTube. But whenever I would be on Instagram and I would see that he was live, I'd always pop in and, give a comment or, Kevin, love you, respect for what you do. Like, you're great and blah, 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 blah. Thank you. Every chance that I got he was on a live stream on Instagram and I was in the chat, I would always hit up with a, thank you. You're great. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm just that type of person. And interestingly enough, I had recorded some reaction videos and I was sitting here at my desk and I saw that the lead attorney was live. And so I was watching the lead attorney's live stream and I saw he was talking about the whole trial with Johnny Depp and stuff like that. And I was just watching, because I had no idea what's going on with the trial. And I was like, who better than to watch this with the lead attorney, right? So, and I saw somebody post something in the comments and I'm like, no, like, no way, not possible. Like, and then I started to see more people talking, and I even started, I saw Anton confirm, and I just saw a lot of different things. And I honestly did not want to have this conversation. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. And the reason why is because it shook. I feel like it shook the space, right? It's something that's very sensitive, very, very sensitive and a very, very delicate situation. But when I saw you guys DMing me on Instagram and when I saw you guys' comments in the comment section, I said, how can I come on here and have any other conversation when a lot of you that are here know me because of this man, great man named Kevin Samuels? I couldn't. I had to show up. Even if I had to just come, like I said, from being outside and running around and not really prepared how I usually am to come in front, I had to share this time and space with you guys. Most importantly, to let you guys know that Black men, it doesn't stop now. You're still supported. You're still loved. And I understand. I could feel, the heartache from you guys because this is the time that a man has actually stood up for us. This is a time that a man has come in and made us feel proud to be who we are again. This is the man that has stand in the gap and has gone through so much turmoil to further the conversation and to let us know that we as Black men matter. We do have a voice. We can have standards. And I have to let you know that this message, Kevin's message, our relationship conversations, and the empowerment of you guys, it will always remain. It will always remain. Kevin Samuels, let me tell you something. I don't know Kevin personally, right? I told you guys I had a one DM from him on Instagram. I don't know him personally. But I always said in previous live streams, previous reaction videos, that Kevin was specifically handcrafted for a time like this. Because while everything else in society is changing so drastically, especially in the relationship sector, especially in the role department, right? Here's a man standing here saying, hell no, we won't go. Hell no. You can do this and you can do that, but black men, don't just try to act like we can't tell you this, and don't try to act like we should just take whatever it is that you feel like you're gonna serve us. No, we matter. We can have choices. We don't have to take the abuse anymore. We don't have to just deal with whatever it is that you serve us. We can actually be happy in our relationships. We can actually be happy in our home settings because this man is standing there so strongly and boldly that it's even memes, right? That every a first date, man asking, "So what do you bring to the table?" You know, he's like started so many amazing conversations. And it's interesting because a lot of people try to act like he's not a part of the conversation, right? Like it's not he has nothing to do with the conversation, but it's if you're talking about black men, if you're talking about relationships, if you're talking about roles, if you're talking about male empowerment and women empowerment even, relationship standards, structure, you can't have that conversation without having Kevin's name in the mix by far because he did it on the largest scale. You don't have to agree with everything that has said. You don't have to. It's not the end of the world if you don't agree with every single thing that he says or the way or the manner in which that he speaks. But you can't deny that he hasn't made a difference because he definitely has. Definitely has. Through him, so many people on YouTube itself, so many people in this space have connected through this man. I was doing listen, when I came on and I was doing my reaction videos, I didn't even know that other people were doing it. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even know. I didn't know anything. The only person I knew that was having this conversation was Kevin Samuels. Through Kevin Samuels and me doing my reaction videos, the Lapeef Network reached out to me. I got to see, more people from like I said, the Lapeef Network, Anton, the whole cast, and then to the lead attorney, and then other people, and it just kept trickling around, all because of this man having conversations, showing up, being honest, being transparent, finding out what's going on in different people's lives and exposing it on a grand platform so everybody can see the mindsets that are holding them back. It's undeniable that he's helped so many people. So many people. And I think the main thing why it shook everyone so drastically is also because we're so used to seeing him all the time. This is not somebody that ever took his foot off of anybody's neck. Okay? He was at it. Maybe a week off. And I think that was like maybe even 6, 7 months ago. I don't even remember. But he was always trying to be innovative and he was always, elevating the watcher's experience, the viewer's experience, right? Like he was always elevating the scenery, making sure that he's being creative and bringing new energy and new vibes so that the viewers are always intrigued by the conversations. And I love that. A man that was structured, tunnel vision on the goal. And for people who said that he didn't like black women and he didn't like this and he didn't like that, from my perspective, I can't speak for him, but from my perspective as a viewer, right, who is in favor of the conversations that he has, I feel like when somebody loves you, they're going to tell you everything, even if it might hurt your feelings, even if it seems like, oh, that was rough. The people who don't love you are the people who just clap and praise you when you're doing wrong and just say, oh, yeah, go ahead, do your thing. Oh, no, don't worry about it. Just do your thing. No, you're not doing anything wrong. You're perfect. You don't have to change anything. And in actuality, it's like Like parents, like when parents are scolding you as a child, you think it's the worst thing in the world. You're like, why do I have to have parents that care about me? you know? Why do I have to have parents that cared about me? And in actuality, because they care about you, right? They're going to scold you. You're not going to agree all the time. You're not going to like everything that's said. You don't have to. But what's the intention? And I think that we could very well see what that intention was based off of him still going on other platforms and having deeper conversations, you know, being having way more subscribers than other people and still going on other platforms and having conversations and you know, being a part of the of different avenues to assist their growth as well because he believed in the conversation so much. I think that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful. I didn't know Kevin Samuels um again personally, but I also when you guys saw me do that reaction video, I probably had heard about him maybe a month prior to that. Maybe a month prior to that. So almost I think June or something like that will be like a year, right? I saw average at best and all that. I saw that way after the fact when I was already doing my reactions. And you know, one thing that I think is very, very beautiful is the fact that he started off um based off of his live streams um that I've heard him talk on and stuff like that. He started off, I believe he was he was like a different kind of businessman and he had cancer and he fought that and he started off on YouTube and he was actually talking to men, right? And having a deeper conversation with men and then turn the conversation to women and it kind of just like overflowed. But when you look at how many people are affected by the fact that he has left, good, bad, or indifferent, haters, lovers, and anybody in between. It's like it's clear that he has fulfilled a great purpose. And it's hard. And I don't want anybody to get it twisted. Yes, chapter 9 said he definitely made his mark. Definitely made his mark, right? We know his fingerprint. And it's hard again because it can be this can be looked at in different ways. It can be discouraging, right? Because it's like, oh, he had so much more to do. He had so much more to add. He had so much more to say and he had all these plans. How can this even occur? But the thing is that though we would all deem, if it was up to our human nature and if it was up to ourselves, nobody would transition at all. Right? Nobody would pass on. Nobody would leave this place. We'd all stay, be 100, 200, 500 years old. And you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, we don't have control over that. But I want to say to my men and women that the one thing that you can control, and this is not anything that has to do with what happened with him because I don't know what happened. There's allegations, there's a lot of hearsay. I don't want to get into the hearsay. I really don't want to get into that. But we have to make sure that we are keeping our health in check because it's very easy, especially for men. I have to say, especially for men, to work and have that tunnel vision of work and work and work and not take time for yourself or not take time to breathe or not take time to relax or check up on yourself or do wellness checks because you're so focused on your purpose and you're so goal driven. Women are different, right? A woman will be like, "Oh my god, I'm just so exhausted. I just took 2 or 3 days to just lay down." Like we have no problem being coddling ourselves and granting ourselves rest. But for men who are so on a mission, and who are so focused and driven, it's harder. It's more difficult for you guys to kind of slow it down and, you know, keep track of what's going on physically with you. It's important. It's very, very important. And I think that this sparked that kind of conversation, that I wanted to have, like I said, with my viewers, you all that I love so much, that you have to always think about your health, your wellness, your well being. And I'm not saying don't be driven. I'm not saying don't be ambitious. I'm not saying don't chase your goals. I'm not saying don't achieve and when you get to this mark, check this mark and check this mark, but also remember to care for yourself and love yourself too. And again, this is not, I have no idea what happened that day. I'm not saying this because of what happened. I'm just using that part of what I know about men and adding it to this conversation for all of you viewers to remember these things about health and wellness and checking in on yourself. It's so vital. It's so vital. Kevin Samuels, I think, is definitely a man's man, right? A father to many. A father to many. Women and men. We've seen him talk to some women and tell, okay, hold on, I'm gonna have to talk to you after this because, you know, where's your dad? Oh, you don't know him? Why? Go fix that relationship with your dad. Or what happened with you and your husband? Why? Okay, go back and be with your husband. And what's going on with this? Like a daddy. Godfather was like the perfect title. And even, when I used to do the reactions in the beginning and I would say, my godfather, because of the fact that I, respected him so much, there was even people like, is that her real godfather? Like, because I said it so much because of the esteem I had for this man. I really, really respect Kevin, like, to the ultimate. I didn't even want, like I said, I didn't even want to talk about this, right? Because of the respect I have for Kevin and I know how his mentality is about certain things and privacy and respect and what's kind of like cool, not cool. I understand. Even to find out that his mother, unfortunately, this is hearsay. This was in NBC News though, that his mother said that she found out based off of social media. And I can't imagine what she feels because although we know Kevin Samuels, the man, the godfather, she knows Kevin Samuels, her son, her baby, her child that has transitioned even before her. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. And so I definitely want to send a whole bunch of love and I say this stuff like I send love and prayers and stuff like that. But let me tell you something. One thing I do is I pray. Okay, humble myself before the Almighty and really hold a deep conversation and meditation because saying I'll pray for somebody or saying like, oh, I send them the best, okay. But sometimes people really, again, if we all feel this type of way, if we feel like it's our uncle, right, or our godfather or our cousin or our friend, if we feel like this, imagine how they feel, his mother feels, his family feels. And I believe he has a daughter too. I think he has one child, a daughter. So imagine how she feels. And look how broken up we are. It's devastating. It's devastating. And again, I'm so comforted by the fact that he was a listen, when I say handcrafted for this time, I can't say it anymore. Handcrafted for this time and like that the torch and the legacy has to continue. And that's the one very interesting thing about YouTube is that YouTube makes you like somewhat immortal, right? Because you're still here having these conversations. If people want to hear your voice or if people want to hear what you would think about certain conversations, Kevin has so many conversations on so many aspects that even people uh, in 2 years that are having trouble in their relationship can go and sit down and take the teachings that this teacher provided. I don't care if he was an image consultant. I don't care what his job was before. He's a teacher that taught with so much conviction that he commanded your attention to listen to what he has to say, whether you like him or you don't. He commanded attention, whether you like him or you don't. And everybody who's on here, if you have nothing good to say, don't worry about it, because I am very quick with this block button. I have no problem with the block button. Whether you like him or you don't, he started a deeper conversation and formed more bonds between people, like I said, on this space to react to each other, to meet each other, to greet each other, to further more of the conversation and more of the conversation and different aspects of the conversation and keep the fire burning and keep the fire going. And I love that. I love that. And again, I'm going to say it again for the millionth time. You don't have to agree with every single thing that Kevin Samuel says. It's not the end of the world if you don't agree with everything that Kevin Samuel says. You know what I'm saying? Every single thing. You can have everybody has different perspectives. Maybe you have different feelings about something or different thoughts about something. That's okay too. But when you look at the general spectrum, and I said this all the time when I was doing my reaction videos or even when I would bring him up on my live stream, I always said Kevin Samuels has over 1 million followers on Instagram, over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, but all these women are saying that they hate him. Somebody's lying because it's not all men. And also, somebody's lying because women are always calling into the show. Somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. He definitely deserves the respect and the honor, even in his transition. You know, even in his transition. I know for me, I I personally could not react to any other video like of Kevin Samuels, and that's just me being completely transparent. I could never do it again. And it's so interesting because at the time that I did, and like I said, when we had that, exchange on Instagram and stuff like that, like over here, different different aspects of when I was doing that. And then I just drifted away from that, like just because, you know, just because. But I'm so glad that, again, we all got to experience this man's strength and his dignity because to be amongst to be amongst a legend, right? Whether you agree with the legend, don't like the legend, love the legend, whatever the case is, to be amongst the legend at a certain time is amazing because you get to see it live, right? When people go back and are talking about this later, like years from now, like, oh yeah, there was this man Kevin Samuels. It's like we were all here live watching him on Instagram, watching him on YouTube, watching, when he's doing all these interviews in other places, like watching these things amongst it. That's amazing and incredible. A privilege to say the least. And it's going to be different for sure. It's definitely going to be different, especially because like, even though I haven't like watched anything on YouTube in a while, or I haven't watched like I said, like one of those like long videos or anything like that. Even sometimes just like I said, being on Instagram and it's like you just see that he's live, you're like, oh, Kevin's live. Okay, let me just hop in and see what's going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely going to be different. It's going to be strange. It's going to be a lot of adjustment for everybody, for the viewers, for the people who are used to just seeing it, like for the critics, for everyone. It's going to be an adjustment. And I don't want to go too deep into the negativity, to be really honest. I just want to say briefly, but you know, for people who are speaking ill of a person who has transitioned, or rejoicing in that space, it says more about you than it does of that person. That speaks volumes of your character and the person that you are. So if you don't like a person, you know what I'm saying, because of maybe a conversation, somebody that you've never seen in real life, you never met them, you don't know them personally. Okay, you never had a strong conversation with this person in real life. You don't know them and you don't like them based off of their conversations, but then you are rejoicing in a time like this. That says way more about you. So what person would be looked at as worse? That says a lot more about you as a person than about the person that you're speaking ill of. That's so distasteful. Very distasteful. However, again, I want to say black men in general, I know, but black men, you're loved, you're appreciated, you're honorable, you're still strong. Still, you have a lot of other advocates around for you who are not going to just let the message just go like that. Not gonna switch up on you. For real. Not gonna change the conversation because the person who's having the conversation on the biggest platform is not around. No. Everybody's still holding it down for you guys. Everybody. And what I want to do is I want to allow anybody who wants to come up and share their own perspective. Like I said, I really wanted to come on and have this conversation with you guys. You guys asked me to come on and have this conversation. And so because of you guys asking me, I want to have you guys come on and say, whatever you feel, whatever you think, something about the conversation, about Kevin Samuels, about when you saw him, when you introduced to him, and how it has inspired you. I genuinely want to allow you guys to have that space. There's a lot of it's a lot, guys. It's a lot. I know it's a lot. I see a lot of the comments like gone too soon, and my brother, you're gonna be missed, and he is gonna be missed tremendously, tremendously, tremendously. Uncle Loke,
How you doing, ma'am?
how are you doing? Long time no see.
Hold up. Let me see if can you hear me real good?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Hey, Kashawn.
Damn, I wish I had some good old headphones. But
Oh,
but I can't hardly hear you. Let me turn this the AC off. Hello?
yes.
Okay. Um from my understanding he went based upon a heart attack.
Mm,
If that's true, I think it's contributed due to them energy drinks.
mm,
And the reason why I think it's relevant is because I just went through some stuff with my mom where
mm-hmm,
she had to get one of her toes cut off, and
mm,
the major culprit. All right, man. The major culprit was I'm at work.
Mhm.
I'm a cab man. But the major culprit was bad circulation, and like once
Mm.
you get past 50, it gets worse because I guess your diet is build up and it's plaque build up in your veins and your arteries.
Mhm.
So it's just like them energy drinks cause that, you know. And I noticed like for the past 2 weeks I've been more health conscious as far as
Mhm.
taking herbs that's going to clear out the plaque of my in my arteries. Even
Mhm.
because I'm a big fella, so I know I'm susceptible to diabetes. I know I'm susceptible to heart disease. You know, so I take a lot of herbs to combat that because I
Mhm.
guess the major food source is not how it was 50 years ago, so it's different content. Because
Right.
but anyway, let's get back to Kevin Samuels. He was a great dude, and
Yeah.
for all the people who celebrating his death, um, uh,
Right.
he was a gentleman. I say
Yeah.
I mean he was a real nice guy, gentleman type boy. Even though they don't believe, they don't know what
Mhm.
a gentleman is. Nor do they know what a classy guy is.
Mhm.
Because the mere fact that he called these females women was a very gentleman move. Though none of these females fit the requirements to be women. None of them.
Mhm.
How you a woman but you don't want to be a mother to your children. How you a woman when you don't want to be a wife? You know, don't mean to go too deep into etymology, but that's where the word woman came from.
Right.
You had to be wife material or mother material to be labeled a woman, to get that honorary title.
Right.
So, for them to say he loved black women, you know, it's just that he didn't, I mean, it's like this. They're happy. But the fact that they're happy, it's going to open them up because it's just like, okay, you're celebrating that he died. Then when you die, it's just like one thing is not being understood. It's just like nowadays females pretend to be masculine for whatever purpose they pretend to be masculine,
Mhm.
but it's not y'all nature to be masculine. Y'all might pretend to be masculine because y'all have to as a defense mechanism. That's understandable. But
Adam Smasher, I'm gonna be right with you. Just stay right there. I'm gonna be right with you. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Uncle.
all right, all right. So it's in men's nature to be masculine. It's just nowadays we've been trained to tone our masculinity down. So y'all starting these battles and these wars. It's in our nature to go to war. It's in our nature to fight. So if y'all want to go, once one not you, 'cause you don't fit it, but once the ones who fit the description start this, where y'all are empathetic, where y'all not empathetic or sympathetic to the struggles or or what black men have to go through, then when something bad happens, we gonna look at you like so. We don't care. If you don't care about us and what we have to go through, then we're not gonna care what happens to you. And
And
then if
and
that's the culture that y'all wanna indulge in, it's not gonna hurt us
the thing is
more than
that
it's gonna hurt you
and the thing
because
is that
you see.
you know
Huh,
a lot of because some people who are just coming in, he's just talking about all the people who were like rejoicing and stuff like that. But the thing is that I've realized that we are in a space that a lot of people have just normalized like just having no empathy as a woman. Like it's not right to be empathetic or to have sympathy or have feelings or emotions. It's like everybody has to pretend to be so strong and make a joke about everything and not care about this and just say the most nastiest, like hurtful things to somebody that they don't know. and they think that there's nothing wrong with it because everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. But you have your own soul, you have your own honor, you have your own dignity and your own pride to protect. You can't jump on a bandwagon of everybody, you know, saying something that's unbecoming or ill fitting, because this is not just a conversation of like somebody's overweight or you ugly or you this or you, this is like something so precious as the gift of life that you're rejoicing over somebody transitioning. I think that is like severe insanity, and the problem that I have with that, like I said before, is that it's women. You know, as women, we're supposed to be the empathetic ones that feel things and like, oh my gosh, oh, I can't believe that. And it's like, how are you guys? So if you guys have this mentality, how are you going to raise your children moving forward? Which is the
Hmm.
same, proving the same point of the man that you so dislike. It's
Yeah, I
crazy.
mean, it this is why I always say, black men, we gonna have to step up if we want to we gonna have to fund our revolution. In reference to, we want wives, we gonna have to create boarding schools or charm schools or wife schools so we can start making families. Because I mean, it doesn't matter if it takes 10 years, 20 years, we're gonna have to do it. Because according to Francis Cress Welsing, marriage we shouldn't start have children to our 30s. Anyway, just so we can have a healthier child, or have a child where we can be more mature and prepared to be parents. But
Hmm.
we're gonna have to do something if we wanted to survive. I mean, we're gonna have to do something if we want the black collective to go back to being a black community. Because, like I say, without the nuclear family, there is no community. How we're a community when it's just like, and that's what he was behind. That's why when they say all this nonsense, I know they're lying. You know, and I went on one of the channels on Facebook, and they was like, da 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 da. I said, it's okay, y'all can go back to being domestic prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? If that's what y'all
Hmm.
want to be, then you don't have to him like y'all are upset because he honored, and he wanted he wanted the whole black woman to the original standard. You know what I'm saying? They had prior to, you know, participating, joining with the dominant society.
Right.
He wanted to get back to blackness. Now, he didn't advertise that, but it's obvious. So, like I say, I'm down for that. I'm down for that message. Like I say, I mean, to
Right.
be honest with you, in this climate, I'm not no monk, so I'm gonna continue to procreate. But I ain't gonna create. But um, in this climate, I'd rather devote some years and time to building something so my offspring can have a wife, or my
Hmm.
nephew can have a wife when they get older, so they can build a family.
Right.
Have something for Generation Z, or whatever is after XY, after Z, and so on and so forth. Because I'm a young Generation X millennial. You know,
Right.
it sounds weird, but that's what I am. So um, I think it's over for my generation. Because um, yeah. So, like I said, the future is the children, and we have data. And like I said, he definitely was, as somebody described on the Obsidian show, he definitely was a supernova. He shined bright, and he brought a lot of attention to this conversation. Like,
Hmm.
I honestly wasn't even interested in relationships, or I didn't even know a lot of stuff about relationships prior to listening to him. He
Right.
just shed a light. Like, I had no idea of how bad it was. I didn't know that black women were trained to hate black men. I'm
Right.
thinking it just might have been some that had a bad experience with black men. I didn't know all this stuff. and
Yeah,
then
the,
to
the
really see
actual
them in action.
right, the
This
actual
is
like
crazy. So I ain't gonna hold you up too much. I know
yeah.
you got other people you want to get to. So I'm gonna go back to listening, but I appreciate you, man, and the homie, man. I hopefully somebody who can be a gentleman like him comes up. If not, there's gonna be a lot of people like me who ain't gonna be a gentleman. I'm not gonna call these. I'm not gonna call these domestic prostitutes ladies and women. I'm not going to give them honorary titles. I'm going to call them what they are. If you're a woman, a black woman, I'll ride for you, protect you, and die for you if it comes to that. But if you ain't no high standard type of female, I mean, you're going to perish with the rest. You get no protection. You get no covering. You know what I'm saying? You disrespect a black man or a black woman, then you're going to deal with the consequences of that. I'm a black nationalist and I'm going to live and die on that, but I most likely rather live on that. So I'm going to sit on down and listen to you.
Blessings, Uncle Luke. Thank you so much for coming on and
All
sharing
right.
your perspective. Thank you. I want to shout out this comment really quick. Wildebeest Davenport, RIP to the Godfather, rest in peace, but your message won't be lost. And I'm telling you that's true. That's extremely, extremely true. It's impossible. Okay? It's literally impossible. And I said it before that, you know, that's the only thing about having a space like YouTube's like you literally can be immortal. Like because people can always come and find conversation with you and talk to you. And I think that's a lot. I see Wolf Stacks in the back. I see Success 20201 and Dion Dimmicks in the back. I'm going to get to you guys shortly. I'm gonna move kind of quick with Krishan. You know I'm not coming to you. Okay, you know you're gonna have to wait, Krishan, because we're gonna have to have this conversation. So I'm gonna go to the Atom Smasher first, and then we're going to continue this conversation. Like I said, I want people to come up. I want people to be a part of the conversation. I want you to share like your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions, what Kevin Samuels meant to you, how you felt about, the situations. I generally want that. But I had to just take a little second because I just still can't believe that we're having this conversation. Yo, like it just it's just so mind-boggling to me. Like I'm trying not to read the comments that you guys are leaving, but I also want to read the comments so I can like be there with you guys. But I cannot believe it. I cannot believe we're even having a past tense conversation about Kevin Samuels. It's like insane. And every time I say that, I have to say, please, please, please pray for his family. Because if we feel like this, I cannot imagine how his mother is feeling. Because, for us, for social, I won't say for us, but I will say for social media, when somebody passes, especially if it's a celebrity, it's like, damn, when it's like hurtful and stuff like that. But then you go to like your regular life and it's not somebody that was so intimate in your life. So sometimes it's easy to kind of like move forward. But like his mom, she's just now getting into the thick of it. Like her pain hasn't even begun to hit its highest peak because she has a lot of process to go through. So just got to keep their family in prayers for real. The Atom Smasher. Hello.
Hey, how are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So first of all, I'm gonna make this quick. I know you got a lot of people to say, but first I wanted to say thank you for this message because when I first heard, I was in the middle. It's final exam week. I'm in the library right now, but I
Mm,
was in the middle of studying and I found out he passed. And I was like, damn, you know what I mean? And then I've checked my Twitter like usual, usual social media, and
right.
I had to stop. After 30 seconds of watching all those negative comments, people rejoicing, people like verified checks, and like people we consider big figures celebrating his death. I was like, come on, cuz. I started to tear up, so I turned everything off. And for a whole day, I just been in denial until today. Finally, come terms with it today, and I started crying because I was
Mm,
like you said earlier, because we have so many platforms for the women, but we finally got somebody for the men. Not that we don't have Poor Man's Podcast and Me Talk over Trolls and Views and all the brothers out here, but
right.
I feel like we actually had a voice to get some balance that somebody actually love us and care about us because I'm young, and a lot of the young brothers that watch that like me, and all ethnicities. Like I have Arab friends who watch the show, and white friends that watch the show, and
Mhm.
Latin friends that watch the show, and we all look at this and we're like, well, our corresponding counterparts, we don't know what we're going to do if a voice like that is gone. God decided to take him back. He did his work, but to see not just black women tearing him down, Latin women tearing him down, all of our counterparts tearing him down, it shatters the hope we had. You know what I'm saying? So it was like
Mm.
to hear you and Chantel and Rebecca and everybody have our back. It means a lot. It really does because because I'm still at loss for words. And I'm just like you said, his family must be going through crazy right now because to hear through social media that your son passed before you, and that your son was the reason that you got remarried. I remember Cameron Samuel said in the video that his mother used to be like those ladies he described, and then he brought her
Mm.
around and got her a new husband, and she's finally content and happy. And then to see that son who helped you with that past before you, that's got to be crazy. And then his daughter too, and everything. That's and people, it shames me that my people are gonna tear down the people that try to help. Somebody was saying in another video, I think it was Mia Talk Reviews tribute to him. Somebody said, "We will support a rapper who talks about flooding the situation with drugs and killing people and
Mhm.
calling him a legend when he passes, but we won't celebrate somebody who tried to help, and we will gun that person down." That just shows how upside down we are.
Yep.
And after that, I was like, "Cuz." Anyway, I didn't want to say too much, but
It's true.
I've been meaning to call on these shows forever, but it's gonna be
Oh.
this one. I love you. I love your show. I was like, yeah, she was most I married this woman.
Blessing.
But no,
Thank you so much.
but yeah, salute. Keep it
Thank
up. We
you.
love you.
Oh man. It gets me because the reason why I came on and had this conversation is because of I knew that. When I looked, I said, Men are going to be like, hold on a second. So you mean to tell me the advocate is gone? The women that were already bad are going to be worse now. Who can we rely on to keep people, so to hear a young gentleman, a college student, having this conversation and expressing himself, it shows the impact, and yeah, I'm down for y'all. Okay. I'm down for you. I've been down for y'all. I've been down for the conversation, but let's be very evident. When I first started, a lot of you guys would not have known me if it was not for this man who started this grand conversation on a very big scale. Okay, I have to just keep saying that over and over again. I it's unbelievable. It's really, really unbelievable. Okay. Hello,
Hey,
success.
how are you? Hey,
Good.
how are
How are
you?
you?
I'm fine. Um, I'm still trying to digest this, and I'm just in totally shock. And I'm on a business trip right now, and just me hearing our good brother Kevin Samuels transitioning is it's just crazy. 'Cause I was just watching his live that night, and for him to pass
Mm,
away, it was just like I didn't believe it. I was just telling myself, maybe he might just come out and say, hey, they making a rumor because different rumors that they put out because they really like trying to slander the guy. They ain't like the message. And just to hear this, I'm very like heartbroken.
yeah.
And I just want to say for everyone that's tuning in, even though our good brother Kevin Samuels is not here in the flesh, let's not let him die in vain. Let's still continue pushing the message, even though there's a lot of negative comments saying that how he hate black women, which he did not because he made a live about it. Because he was a big component of black marriages and black
Mhm.
children. Because that's the key of pushing generational wealth. It's through
Right.
black marriages and stuff. And you know, like I said, we got on the women's side, we got sisters like yourself, Jessica X, Danica. I mean, I can't even like process right now, but
I
other
know.
that's pushing the content and stuff too. So yeah, I'm just still in shock. I'm still trying to process this, man. I just can't believe our good brother Kevin Samuels is gone.
Me
It's
either.
just, and then I also want to add too, because of him, I used to make poor dating choices. So I used to ask myself, like, why every time I'm dating, my beautiful sisters, why they're not working well? And that was because I listened to his content. And now I'm with a current girlfriend. She's a sister. We've been together for more than a year. And hopefully this year, I'm gonna propose to her, and we can proceed down the aisle. So
From Kevin.
yeah, because of Kevin.
Oh my God.
And then also another thing there's too. I remember one time I was in the car and I was actually playing Kevin Samuels. I was parked illegally. A police officer came to my car and he was about to like ask me for my driver's license and my registration. And then he goes, "Hey, is that Kevin Samuels?" I said, "Yes, it is." He dapped me up. He said, "Have a good day, sir." And he just left me.
Wow.
Yeah,
The camaraderie. See, that's what I want to say. Like the camaraderie that it built from the people. The thing is, like I said, I have to say it. Whether people say they like him, they don't like him. Again, million followers on Instagram, million subscribers on YouTube. Somebody's lying.
right,
Okay, somebody has to be lying about not liking him. But the camaraderie that it brought around people who could resonate with the message and could understand, not listening emotionally, not listening with your feelings and your heart on your sleeve and getting all in your feelings because he might be talking about you, but the people who really understood the bigger picture that he was always trying to express, they
right,
resonated deeply with each other. And I think that that's an amazing thing. And again, I have to say it, like, to live amongst a legend in live time is a big deal. I
right,
think I think that we should be so honored and privileged of that, because for all this time, we haven't heard anybody talk about relationships if it wasn't happy wife, happy life. Okay, if it wasn't, but
right.
actually talking about the respect and the nature of it, and what it entails. I think that's so vital. And one thing that you said, letting his legacy live on, and a part of that is, even if you're in spaces or in relationships already, and especially as females and as males, but he, at this point, he was talking to the females more. It's, if you and your man had conversations or you respected him on a certain level, it's keeping that esteem,
Yeah,
keeping those things in your mind.
yeah, and it's like, and then the beautiful part is like, it's not just black people, it's white
No, it's
people.
not.
Like listen, this if you go online right now, we got people in India speaking Hindi, Punjabi, talking about Kevin
Talking
Samuels.
about it.
You got people in
That's
Japan
crazy.
talking about Kevin Samuels. Africa, I have never seen nothing like this before. And and the beautiful part, he's not a rapper, he's not an entertainer, he's a businessman. He
Mhm.
represents like a good black image for us, you
Mhm.
know. And we just got to keep it going, keep the message going. Don't let this, let the haters go, let them say whatever they got to say. But at the end of the
Right.
day, they cannot stop the message at all.
Nope. They can only amplify it.
Right.
But they talk about, because that's how I found out about him. They were trying to cancel him, trying to sign. I forgot what the thing is called that you sign
Or
to get
the petition.
the petition to get him off
Yeah,
off of
yeah,
YouTube. And then I'm over here like, oh my God, what an amazing man.
right, right.
Like, and then
And then
it didn't
and then
happen.
it's just a beautiful thing, and it's just like we're all shocked because this happened during of his prime. I mean, if he was still here, imagine what would happen. I'm pretty sure a lot of good things would have happened. But again, I thank you so much for putting out the content. I thank everyone for tuning in. Like I said, don't let his message die in vain. With that note, I'm gonna let you go and just continue the message.
Blessings, brother. Give
You too.
thanks.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, somebody said all Kevin Samuels did was tell broke men and overweight women to be okay. I want to read this. I'm going to read this before I block this person and delete it. But it says all Kevin Samuels did was tell broke men and overweight women to be realistic, and y'all out here acting like he was Scar from the Lion King. Y'all weird. Um Oh, I thought he was saying something different. But yeah, people are acting like he's like this vicious, and he was just honestly just having honest conversations and telling the truth. And people are definitely villainizing him for that. I read this fast, so I thought you were saying the complete opposite, but this is really, really true. That's very, very true. Um, yeah, the truth has become, oh, Des the family, don't go anywhere. I want to talk to you. Damba Nagasi, Demetrius, I see you all. I'm coming to everybody. I just want to allow everybody to have, actually, I'm gonna let this lady go first. Okay. Wolf Sachs, I see you. I see everybody, but when I see a woman up here, I have to bring them right up
Hi, how you
beside me.
doing?
How are you?
Good, good. I wanted to chime in and thank you first of all because Kevin Samuels, I feel like introduced us to women who following the same path, you know. Like I'm not a big person on YouTube. I don't watch YouTube much.
Mm-hmm.
But my spouse, my boyfriend, he was a person who was like, hey, man, this dude Kevin Samuels, he's speaking on some stuff, man, you talk about. Like, yo, you gotta watch that. You know, and it was a lot of self-checking I had to do. Being a
Right.
person in a relationship. And I'm just grateful. I look at him like an uncle. You know, I called them once and spoke to him. You know, it was
Mm-hmm.
very brief, but he's I don't have many elders in my family who's even on the same wave, but like, hey, look, this the values a man need to have, and you as a woman, it's the values you should have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I don't I wasn't subscribed to you before, but just off of his platform and his name, a woman as you know, like yourself, come up, and I could relate. I think that that was his purpose more than anything else, was to build this community. Like you may not even know it, but this right here is bringing on his legacy, and it's something that's bigger than all of us. Like we are under attack. This is a spiritual war. You know what I mean? It's hard. I don't have a mama to call and be like, hey, I don't know what to do in this relationship. Most of our elders come from, girl, you young, you should be living, go through
Right.
you. You know, and it take a man like that to make me feel like, you know what, I'm on the right path. It's not just about me. It's about my children. It's about generations to come, you know.
That is, go ahead. Please go ahead.
But anyway, like I wanted to say thank you. I'm grateful for that part of it, and you are doing your purpose. He did his purpose. His time was, it's cut way too short. I'm still like, man, this not real.
Mm-mm.
But I do understand and foresee that this is what he wants. He want women like you who have the understanding, who could comprehend what he said, to keep speaking on that, and we relay that message to other young women. I get so discouraged by modern women. I'd be like, yo, I ain't getting on YouTube. I'm not opening my mouth. I'm not saying nothing. I'm gonna raise me and mine, and we gonna rock like this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not gonna grow us as a people. And just his passing made me realize that like this man was really bold enough to get up here with all the slander. That's how you know when somebody is righteous. With all the slander, all the they had people in his comments calling me stupid and was like, because I was like, yo, I used to have that same bad beat mentality. Yo, I was young. I'm on a
Right.
pro. I'm telling him, and he like, nah, shorty, like we not doing that. Like just because I'm not here on this level, you do need to understand what a real man with real values is.
Right.
And you gonna come up here with me, you can stay down there. And what I did, I said, you know what?
I'm
I'm
gonna.
gonna come up there. I ain't gonna
Right.
find too many like you. But it's just it's the poison they putting in the water right now. I know I done rambled on and said a lot, but
You're not rambling at all. You're speaking facts. And you know, what one thing, and I am not the type to be up here. Y'all know, okay, if y'all been here rocking with me, y'all know River is very emotional. Okay. I'm very emotional. I will come and talk to you guys and be crying for nothing. Okay. But one thing that really, really hit me is because it's so true when you say about being a part of the legacy, but also the connections. Like women who are like minded, it's harder to find them on places like social media. It's very hard because they're all like
yes,
Birkin bag. What he can do for you, like, you're the prize, you're the this, you're the that. Who cares? Like, you know, a hot girl summer, date whatever guy you want to, sleep around if you want to. It doesn't do anything for you. But women who are trying to get it right, trying to break the cycles that they maybe saw
yes,
before,
yes,
trying to change the narrative, trying to raise healthy kids.
yes.
We're like, where do we
Where do we fit in?
fit?
Like where? Because everybody's gonna make you feel out of place and like you're stupid, you're dumb, or you know what I mean, until they see the finished product, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, I want a man like that." It's like you have no idea the time it took or what we have even been through It's
Right.
women now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
don't mind. He a man. Like, you going whatever it is.
Right.
But it's double-sided. It's not just women who go through that. Like, men as well. As a black man, oh my God, the ridicule I seen this man go through.
Mm-hmm.
The slander from own family, people telling me like we've been through so much. But I'm just saying, like, not to go into a whole backstory, but just to have somebody like Kevin get up there and be like, hey girl, you gotta be realistic with yourself. This is what you're gonna get. And a lot of women don't understand is that's not saying that you trash or that you can't have a successful marriage or a successful life. What it's saying is if you have a certain mentality, you have to meet somebody where you at. Like, y'all could
Right.
build each other up. That's the whole point of it. And just this privilege, like they trying to cast all over like black people or the black community, just as women's rights and all that is really a handicap to say, hey, y'all really weak. You can't handle, you can't take nothing.
Right.
So go ahead, lay it down, give it up, make everybody bow to you. You a guy, you a queen, no matter what you do, no matter how you preserve yourself, no matter how you present yourself. And I'm like,
No matter the poison that spews out of your mouth, no matter the detriment of society and our children, no matter if you're a wreck in your home, outside of your home, on your job, no matter the inconsistency, no matter the fact that you can't have structure, no matter the fact that you can't even look yourself in the mirror because you don't really like you, but you're still right.
That's the deeper part.
True. It's so true. And he magnified like,
yeah,
y'all all wrong. Everybody wrong. Go sit down.
Like he had me in here like a comedian that make a joke that cut too deep. You be laughing, but you be like, that's me. I need to get that together.
Right. Yeah, he definitely had that. And I want to say, I love you. Okay. I don't have to see you, know you. I don't have to. Energy is everything to me. So I want to say to you, my sis, I love you. And I am definitely grateful that in this space that we can connect with each other. And I hope that we can continue to connect on more deeper levels. I don't know if you have me on Instagram, but you have to find me.
For sure, definitely. And I'm subscribing.
Yes. Love you, sis. Thank you so much for coming on. I love you too.
Thank you. Thank you for this live.
Thank you. Oh, man. You see what I'm... Okay, first of all, before we move on to the next person, women coming together. Women that are coming up and talking about their own experiences and the cause for the change in their own lives, in their own relationships. I see this a lot on my channel. I see it a lot in my comment section. I see it a lot on my Instagram. I see a lot of women. I mean, I'm talking about people who, YouTubers with a lot of subscribers, like all types of different women who say, hey, my man listens to Kevin and we stumbled across you doing this. And now I listen to you when I'm not around my man. I sit down and I listen to you. And sometimes you break things down in a certain way. And one thing that Des just said that was so epic is that this is all a part of a greater, bigger, stronger mission and duty. And it takes all these different specs. Okay, Kevin was like the one that lit the fire, and then there's all this there's all these different aspects of the conversation in different places, that we can still, again, move the needle forward and have the conversation. So I'm grateful for that. Will Stacks, thank you for joining.
Miss River, how you doing, Queen? I just want to.
Well, how are you?
I'm not doing so well. I'm not gonna lie. When I found out he passed away, I cried a lot. As a man, I can see him live because I'm like, Kevin Samuels to me was like your cool uncle or your cool godfather that's in the church. He's a deacon. He's this. He's that. He got a fly suit on. He's walking around with the good cologne on, smelling good, shaking everybody's hand, getting everybody hugs. So it was like, damn, like he was trying so hard just to like get us back to where we used to be. And people don't even watch his videos fully knowing that this man put up videos from 1970s, 1980s, showing women with kids alone, like with no man in the house. He's like, he always says, ask him like, okay, why would you have a kid with this man but not marry him?
Mm,
I don't see nothing wrong with somebody trying to put us back to where we should be as a whole collective family.
right.
Don't you, when you go to the park, you see a father and a wife with their kids, and it's like they having a great time, everybody's laughing, and then they got the best chance at life to be great young people one day.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
it
so true.
it hurts me a lot. Like, damn, I really was watching this man for the whole time I've been on YouTube watching him, and he checks men too a lot. He checks men a lot. Oh, you overweight? Why you looking for a wife that's skinny, petite, beautiful, in shape, and you like 300 pounds? You gotta do better, bro. You gotta do better, sir. And it's like he does the same with women, but they only see the negative in his message. They don't see that this man is trying to get us all as a collective whole, not even just black women. He talks to women that's Armenian, that's Chinese, that's
White.
Caucasian, that's white, absolutely. And it's like all they hear is what they don't like about themselves. He's telling you, okay, yes, you have these hangups, these bad issues. You have mom issues, you got dad issues. Okay, leave it alone. Just change, recreate yourself. Be the woman that a good man wants to love.
Right. It's so true. And you're talking, and while you're talking, it's like it comes on like this, even though I've already obviously come to grips with it. Like you're talking, and when you talk in past tense, I'm just like, what? Like all over again. I'm like, wait, what? What are we doing here? Wait, why am I live? What are we talking about? Like, it's just so unfathomable. And you're so right. If people would really listen to hear and not to be defensive and not to argue and not to combat, they would hear a man who is speaking in a space and trying to bring families back together, trying to bring community back together, structure back together. You said it perfectly about, children growing up, and because they had balanced homes, they can be normal adults, and create normal lives again through their children and change what we've seen around us. And one thing that I wanted to say too is that a lot of people tried to look at his own life, right? They're like, oh, but he's been divorced, or but he's not married. That does not matter. That does not mean anything. That does not make truth a lie. Truth is truth. It doesn't matter whose mouth it comes out of. It is still the truth. You cannot negate it. You can't change that fact. So a lot of people just tried anything because what he's saying didn't feel good to a lot of women. So because it doesn't feel good, we have to find any kind of way to change, what you're saying, or try to diminish you, and they contact attack the person himself and try to find different things and make up all these rumors just because it hurts them and it hits them somewhere, instead of saying, damn, that hit me. Maybe it's something that I need to self-reflect on and maybe dig a little deeper and see what's going on or what I can change about myself. So that's very, very true. Very, very true. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
One more thing, and I believe
No, sure.
in my mind, and my how my imagination is like so like high. I could picture Kevin Samuels right now walking into heaven with an all white suit on, his glasses, saying,
Clean.
"Hey, Big G, I'm ready. It's my time." Walking past the pearly gates with his cologne on, smelling good, wiping himself out, making sure his suit is pressed and clean, and walking through the gates, waving bye to the world. I could see him doing that. Ms. Reba,
Yeah.
thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, brother. Bless. I want to read this comment. Chapter 9 music. Not liking him can't change the fact that he's legendary. A word. Okay. You don't gotta like him. Doesn't mean he's not a legend, though. Doesn't mean that he is not shaking the globe. Okay, because he definitely has. He's left his thumbprint. He's marked it in sand. Okay, everybody, you say the name Kevin Samuels, and good, bad, and different, it's going to spark some kind of emotion. He just has that thing, that he has that it thing that it you just can't change that. And I also wanted to say this too. I can't believe that I've come like an hour into this conversation and I haven't even brought this up. But you know, one thing that made me really sad is I had, like I said, the dialogue with him in Instagram or whatever, but I always was just like, oh, you know, he would come, you know, to my city and I'll be like, dang, you know, one day I need to like actually like have this conversation with him. Like I know like the people who met me from him and like people would always say, like, oh, are you gonna call up? And I'm like, no, I can't call up because there's no sense in me calling up on there because there's not it's the same dialogue. You know what I'm saying? But I remember like, oh, you know, I wish that this and that and it that's one thing that kind of is hurtful to me is because that's something that won't be because it can't be and it's something that I feel like I slept on a little bit. Not really slept on, but I feel like it was just something that I was in a space that there's certain things or certain marks on the boxes that I wanted to check off prior to, you know, doing that. But so that's kind of sad, you know, knowing that that is not going to be a bigger scheme, but that doesn't change anything because like I said, it's about the legacy. It's about being a part of the movement, you know, and being true to it. That's the biggest thing, the biggest thing. Okay. I see everybody in the back. I'm coming to you guys. Um, all right, Kashawn. I think you waited long enough. I think you waited long enough, Kashawn. How are you?
I'm here. This it's a heavy day. It's a weird day, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, you know, this is falling pretty close to the anniversary of my mother's death. You know, this
Mm,
year
wow.
one. This would be a year that my mother passed on the 16th of this month.
Wow.
And
10 days.
yeah, exactly. And yesterday, I just, you know, I'm sitting around watching TV or whatever, and I saw a news alert on my phone, and I have this news app, and it said Kevin Samuels had passed, and it had a question mark. I said, "What?" I read the story, and it talked about how they really didn't have much information, and they were waiting. They didn't have a confirmation. So
Mm-hmm.
I start Googling. I'm not seeing anything. I'm looking around. I see a whole bunch of different YouTubers with videos, and they trying to figure it out. And then I spotted a live that Melanie King did last night, and I saw it after the fact, but I sat down, I turned it on, and I watched it, and I'm still researching. I haven't found anything. And you know, the title of her live was Kevin Samuels is dead. It didn't have any punctuation, no question mark, no, you know, exclamation mark, no period. Just it just said that. And so I'm listening, and so she's trying to figure out if this is true or not. So she's calling everybody she can to find him, and then she's called both of his phones multiple times, no response. And so she's waiting for people to call her back, and she talked to some of his close friends, and nobody had a confirmation. And so it's like this doesn't feel real. And then I start seeing stuff about people celebrating his death, and that kind of threw me for a loop because I'm like, really? You're happy because this man had passed on? What? So you can continue to do your garbage? He was gonna do it regardless. What? Because you didn't want to hear the truth? That's because that's all he told. And they'll admit to that. Oh, what he said was true, but the way he said it,
Right.
why was how he said it so important? Well, why was the emphasis on how his delivery came through? You
Hmm.
know, and then you know I started reflecting on when I first found him. I found out about him a couple of months before the petition came out, and you know I found out about him through other YouTubers I was watching. And
Hmm.
you know, playing little clips of his, those clips that tried to make him look a certain way. And you know, I listened to it, and I'm listening to his tone and the way he's talking to the woman, and I'm sitting trying to figure out what are people mad about. I don't get. Wait, what did he say wrong? I'm not understanding. And, you know, I'm looking at the women he's talking to or the men he's talking to, and I'm like, what are these people mad about? What did he say that's wrong? And then I actually decided one night, I said, let me go ahead and listen to a full live and see what this man is actually talking about. And then, you know, listening to the full live and him break things down, And if you watch the way he handled the people that called in, you know, he was never rude or aggressive in the beginning, even after he got off the phone with somebody that was aggressive. You know, a
Mhm.
woman call in and he talking to her and she start acting crazy. Bless
Thank you.
you. He would go, ma'am, 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 ma'am. Before he started going there, he would stick on that ma'am, trying to get her to stop and listen.
Yeah.
You know, and if people actually paid attention, most of those people called in just to get him riled up. They wasn't really, you know, you had women calling in talking about stuff that had nothing to do with the lie that he was presenting at that time. The message he was delivering had nothing to do with
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
You know, it was to rile him up and get him out of himself so that they can go back and say, oh, he did this, he said this to me, he called me this, he called me that, but he ain't this, he ain't nothing, he ain't shit, he ain't, you know, just do all that type of stuff. But he was not about that. He was really about uplifting what should be our community, you know, uplifting men and women. And, you know, to hear people say, oh, he hated black women. No, he didn't. No,
That he did not.
No, he didn't. There's no way that man could have hated black women. If that's the case, he hated his mother and he hated his daughter.
And if that's the case, what would be the point of even having the conversation?
Exactly. But, you know, when a message like that, so strong and necessary, comes out, you're going to have these divestors who try to shut down the truth at all costs. Why is that? Because it messes up what they got going on. It tears down what they're trying to build.
Mhm.
And so, you know, I kept watching and listening to Melanie, and then she finally got a call from somebody that she said was from the family, and they confirmed he was gone. And then I was watching her, how hard it hit her, and she talked about how she hadn't told anybody, but he was working with her behind the scenes. He was helping her change her image. You know, he talked her into wearing her natural hair. He told her she should be wearing pearls, so she started wearing pearl earrings. And she said that she had just saw him, I think it was back in March for his birthday. So she had met him down there in Miami for
Mhm.
his birthday, and she said that man closed down a Thomas Ford store and took her in there and was helping style her. And you know, she went and grabbed one of a jacket that she said he looked at me and said, "That'll fit you perfectly," and it does fit her perfectly. Like she was like, he just knew. And then she talked about how, you know, how hard he was pushing her, and like some of the people you see in the videos, she a lot of it she didn't want to hear, and so she was pushing back. And she said that she didn't respond to his last text message. They were supposed to talk Sunday, and she didn't respond because she was in a space that she didn't want to bring that to him. So then she started, you know, talking down on herself and feeling bad, and people were calling in and telling their experiences of how he helped them. And I just started seeing a lot of different people, and I'm sitting there realizing how big this man's impact was on the world, you know. And you know, he wasn't a basketball player, he wasn't a football player, wasn't a musician, image consultant who decided to take it upon himself after re-imaging himself. He took it upon himself to come to YouTube and present that to men and women. And you know, it doesn't seem real.
Mhm.
It doesn't, because even after she confirmed it, I'm still looking, and not many people still had a confirmation. I'm like, this is I've never seen anything like this. This is weird. And then, you know, there's many different things. I seen somebody say, I don't know, there's so many people out there talking nonsense.
Mhm.
Somebody said, you know, I heard people even before Uncle said it. I heard somebody talk about all them Red Bulls. I seen that about 3-4 times before I heard Uncle say it. And then I seen somebody talk about a cocaine overdose, and I'm like,
I don't know about none of that.
I don't need like people just saying any and everything they can
People
just to
just say
get
so
that
that's the
boyfriend.
thing, yeah. That's the thing that's hard, is because people just say anything. Like,
They
they
do.
don't care if it's real, if it's kinda real, if it's what they think is what they feel is, it could be literally anything, and people would just say that, and it's like, but you're
Mhm.
saying that, and it's attached to some like a real person,
Right.
like a real entity. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
that's the hard part of it, and that's the one thing about social media. It's the people who just say anything for any reason and just do whatever, say whatever,
Mhm.
act however. It's like at the end of the day, like these are still real people, you know, with real
Mhm.
feelings and real thought processes and real
Absolutely.
families that are
Right.
grieving at a time. And for me, that's why, like, again, I came on to have this conversation because of people asking me to. But yesterday I was like, okay, it's not on the Shade Room. It's not
Mhm.
on TMZ. I see it in
Mhm.
all these other news outlets, but there's a certain order just because, like, you don't know what's going on with people's families. You don't know if they know. You don't know if there's things that are going on. We didn't even know if at possible he was even in the hospital and maybe recovering, and people are just
Right. Right.
saying that man gone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Uh-huh.
there's a space that is necessary because, again, this is like real people going through like real things. Um and
Mhm.
one thing that I wanted to say as well is that even for women, like a women who are married or in long-term relationships or whatever, like you have to make sure that you are keeping tabs health-wise on your man.
Mhm.
You know,
Absolutely.
that is something that you have to do because especially if you have a man who was, again, I said it before, but a man who is working a lot, a man who is, you know, driven, a very goal driven, because when men are focused, man,
Mhm.
nothing is gonna get in the way between him and
Nothing.
that thing that he wants to do. There's nothing that's gonna
Mhm.
cause that space, and as a woman, being that safe space, not being that nagging, nasty, argumentative, disrespectful kind of person that he don't wanna be around you, but being able to be in tune with yourself so that you're able to keep certain things in check
Yeah.
for certain things. Like, "Hey, you okay? You good? You want some water? You alright? You know, make sure that you play that same role, not being so selfish." A lot of women are like, "Oh, I'm not his mom." Okay, well, that's your man. And if you care about each other as you should, you always somebody has to be in that space to be concerned and health conscious for the other party, you know? And I'm just saying that again, this has nothing to do with this exact situation. I'm just using this conversation to say that to a lot of our women who are in relationships, who are married, that,
Mhm.
you know, because I feel like every time we look somewhere on social media, it's always somebody and it's always something kind of like health related, you know? So it's
It is.
important that we take note of these things, and especially I got to keep it real. Especially I'm talking to everybody. Men don't like to go to the doctor. But black men,
Hmm.
doctor where? Doctor who they're not going. Like they're
Doctor.
not
What's a doctor?
going.
I never heard of that before.
You
Mm.
know, it's like, I'll be all right. No, like, you know what I'm saying? And I understand what has happened, you know, to us in the past, but your health is your real wealth. Don't get it
Mhm.
twisted. Don't look at the
Absolutely.
paper that comes in your hand. Don't look at the numbers in your bank account. Don't look at, you know, material things. Don't get it twisted. That your health, that's your wealth. That's what
Mhm.
gives you
Absolutely.
life.
Mhm.
Because you can be so unhealthy and leave everything. But your health
Mhm.
is so vitally important. So we have to I'm hoping that, you know, because of, like, it rocks everybody's mentality that a lot of people start to take account of certain health things and try to figure
Mhm.
out what's going on. And you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Even this person, Vladimir says, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure I have some type of tear in my leg. Been like this for 4 months, still haven't been to the doctor. Okay, go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Because
You
you
go
need
ahead.
to know what's going on in your body. Like, things can literally be going on that you
Mhm.
have no symptoms, you have no idea what's going on. You have to go to the doctor. You have to find somebody that you trust, find a doctor that you trust, and make
Absolutely.
sure that you definitely, like, stay on it. It's so vital. Like, it's
Mhm.
it's so vital. And I just had to, just put that in there. Do you have anything that you wanna add? If you don't, you don't have to go far. I'm just gonna drop you down, bring somebody back up, and then, you know, at the end, I'm gonna have a longer conversation.
Yeah, just
Hmm.
Kevin Samuels opened up a very big conversation that cannot be closed down. He brought something that needed to come to the forefront, and it ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, it's not. I agree with that. Give thanks, Kashan. Yeah, that's true. It's definitely not going anywhere. Anywhere. Um, Dion, hello, how are you? Uh-oh, I think you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh man, I'm actually on your show. This is crazy. Man, I watch your show, Kevin Samuel's show, and a few others every day.
Mm,
Y'all always have good content, man. But I love seeing our sisters support their dang on men and you know what I'm saying, show care for the black nuclear family. I definitely love that. And yeah, man, when I first heard about Kevin Samuels, man, I'm like, man, they lying. They just, just
mhm.
talking crap like usual. And then as usual, I'm seeing more and more of it come up. I'm like, oh hell no, ain't no way in the world, man. Because me when Kevin Samuels first got his early YouTube, I used to watch it from the very beginning, and his early YouTube was more dedicated to men, and he would talk very harsh and brass and straight towards men, strictly directly to the point. You know what I'm saying? He would challenge men. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? He would get him out of that mama's boy ass feminine nature and all that stuff. He was very rough. Like the women, they complained about how Kevin Samuels talked to them. But if you go to his very early videos when the men used to call in and the conversations he would have with men,
Mhm.
night and day. You know what I'm saying? And he motivated me to do a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like even right now, what it's been like about a month and a half, and I've already lost over 30 pounds. I got 30 more pounds to go.
Wow.
My credit score is over 7 dang on 20. I got a nice little chunk of change saved up. I'm gonna be starting me a dang old a business next year. You know what I'm saying? I can't
Congratulations.
wait, And Kevin Samuels, he like the father I never had because my father been in my life the whole time. But you know what I'm saying? The things that he's talked about, the things about life, relationships, women, me and my dad never had those kind of conversations.
Mm.
And I learned a lot from him. He was blatantly honest. He stood firm on what he believed. You know what I'm saying? He didn't apologize for it. That's what I loved about him. He was unapologetic. And what I hate most about men is when we're right, but we turn around and apologize anyway. That's the worst thing a man can do. You know what I'm saying? I hate that. Like even the celebrities when they would, when the men celebrities would stand up and say something right, and then everybody would come against them, and then they would just turn around and apologize. That shit used to piss me off. I'm like, why?
Mhm.
Why would you apologize for being right? That's so stupid. And Kevin Samuels, he was a genius. He was a genius at making complicated things simple. You know what I'm saying? He was a realist. He put everything in perspective. You know what I'm saying? He basically, what I'm saying, brought out the things about us that we didn't like, you know what I'm saying, and the things that we needed to change. Like, when he talked to the men, he always talked to us about getting off your ass and, you know what I'm saying, having goals, accomplishing those goals, you know what I'm saying, getting in the gym, being healthy, being progressive, all that good stuff. And that's what I love most about him. He challenged men. He wasn't just ragging on the women. He made sure that the men had the mindset of a man, you know what I'm saying, not to bitch, like to stop the bitching and complaining. Because a lot of guys, what they do is they get in groups and they bitch and complain to one another. And then after they get done bitching and complaining, after they all leave to go about their normal lives, they do nothing about it to change their situation.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of our damn problems because we like to complain about women and the standards they have, but yet the men ain't even trying to meet them standards any damn way.
Mm.
You mad because she don't like fat men. Well, are you going to the gym? No, you're not. So what are you complaining about? Obviously, you don't care.
Right.
You
Holding both
complaining?
parties accountable.
Yeah. So I mean, you mad because she don't like a broke man. Well, are you working? Are you making good money? Are you working hard? Well, if you're not working, then he pretty much put in our heads that you get out of life what you put in. You know what I'm saying? And nothing more, nothing less. You know what I'm saying? You want to be mediocre, you're gonna get mediocre results. You want to be outstanding, you get outstanding results. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
want to be top 10% men, then guess what? You're going to get top 10% women. So if you sub top 10%, this is what you're gonna get. So men, if you ain't like the kind of women selection you got or you getting, then it's time to start leveling up. I don't know what to tell them, you know, because I see them all the time complaining on the comments. But brother, it's time to get to work, man. Don't complain about the games and the rules. Just play the game to win. That's all you got to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, and us as men, we have this thing called testosterone, the chemical of will. Men with that dang old chemical will called testosterone, you can make anything happen. Anything. Nothing is impossible.
It's true.
If you fat now, guess what? 6 months later, I guarantee if you work hard enough, you won't be. Your finances bad, you work hard in 1 year, I guarantee next year your finances won't be what it was.
It's true.
So quit bitching and get to work. Stop complaining, get to work. Go out there, be fucking competitive, and want the best out of life. Okay? And that's all us men need to do there. That's what I got out of Kelvin Samuel, because even when he gone, that's one thing he instilled into me is quit bitching and start competing. Quit complaining, start competing. You know what I'm saying? Don't complain about the games and the rules. Just play the games and the rules to win. Fine, you want the top 10%, man? Fine, I'll become the top 10%, man. Now what? What's your excuse now?
Right.
That's all you have to do, man. That's all we have to do. Us as men is once we get our lives together and our minds together, we'll get way better quality women and have way better quality families. And everybody else will just get left behind.
I love that. And I love that you come and you're speaking strongly on this part, because obviously, like the comment just said, like this man has been listening. Obviously, like you have been impacted from his conversations, and you know, a lot of men's their life has been, but this is an aspect of like I'm saying, holding both parties accountable. A lot of people who didn't really listen to the content are under the impression that it was only women that he's talking to, and it's not. You know, like you said, it's really on both sides. Okay, y'all need to stop tripping, and y'all need to stop tripping, because they're doing this, but you need to do this, and going back and forth, and kind of like being that medium between the spaces, saying like y'all both need to do better to get better results. It can't take one person and not the other. You guys both need to do better.
Exactly.
So
you know, be the best version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know, us as men, you know what I'm saying? You might not can't make every woman happy, but if you can't get up every morning and look at yourself in the mirror and be happy with yourself, that's not good, man. That's not good. You know, if you look up every day and you know you're overweight, you know you're feeling like shit, but you're not doing nothing about it. You just staying the same, staying miserable, complaining, making excuses every day about how you can't do this, you can't do that. That's bad, man.
Yeah.
You know, if you broke every day, if you broke as hell every day, you're living from check to check, you're trying to scrape dimes together, dimes together, you're doing these little hustles and shit that don't work, and you know damn well you need to change and you ain't doing what it takes, that's a problem. You know, and you got a lot of guys, they worrying about these women and they ain't even halfway where they want to be. Not even halfway.
It's true.
You know, they worried about a high quality woman, and dude, you're not even the bare minimum yet. You worried about the wrong thing, dude.
Right. Right.
You know, and so, you know, I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Fine, let the women have their standards and everything, and I'll just be over here working on me, being the best version of me as possible. And when I come to the table again, I'm not going to come to the table the same man I was before. You know, stakes are going to be a lot higher. But like, look, I'm making 200-something thousand plus. I got my own house and everything. I'm pretty much good. What can you do?
Right, exactly.
Show me something.
Can you meet me on my level now?
Exactly. Ain't no need to complain. Just compete. That's all.
It's very true. And I think that that's the reason why he didn't get a lot of traction when he was talking to men, because men have the ability to just listen and take it or don't take it and then just move it forward. Women are being emotional creatures are like, oh no, we need to sign a petition, you know? So I think that's the biggest difference. But another thing that I want to say before I have to move on to Demetrius and then Mr. Eugene, is just that, you know, you said something very intricate, that you have a father, but Kevin Samuels was still like the father that you never had because of the conversations that he had that you never had with your own father.
Yeah, I mean, because this is the thing. Us as Black people, we think that just because you got another man in the house that he's actually a good role model or actually giving you what you need. But
Right.
it's not going to be on all levels. You know what I'm saying? Some fathers are good at certain things and they're not good at certain things. You know what I'm saying? And that's how my father was. You know, he was a hard worker. He took care of family, but there was things that he just couldn't give me because why? He didn't have it himself. You know what I'm saying? And you
Understand.
know, my dad, my mom, they've been married over 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Never been divorced, any of that. But Kevin Samuels, he had experience and you know what I'm saying, a lot of different places and all that game and stuff. And he was able to put where things you can simply understand. A plus B equals C. It was very simple. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And after that, I took hold of it, and it's been in my mind forever. It drives me. You know what I'm saying? I wake up, shoot, I watch, like I said, I watch yours and his videos like every day. You know, because I'm just not, I don't get, I look at it differently. Like some people, you know, when they hear Kevin Samuels, they hear hate, they get all discouraged or whatever the case may be. I don't get like that. I take it as a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Because men, we need to stop looking at things like that. We need to start looking at things like as challenges instead of looking at things as, oh, are you trying to tear me down? No, it's not trying to tear you down, man. I'm trying to challenge you. I'm trying to get you to grow. Trying to get you to do things you didn't even know you could do. You know? And so I just think that, you know, mindset is the most important thing, man. Because some people look at life, you know, half full. Some people look at it half empty. You know, if you always look at the glass half full, then you're always going to be optimistic. You're always going to have a hope. You're always going to look for options. You know what I'm saying? But if you're always looking at it half empty, you kind of get in this rut where you complaining and you feel defeated and you don't move forward, you don't plan, you just stay stagnant and just sit around and think nothing good could come your way and all that bullshit. You know, you loser mentality. That's what I call it. That's basically what it is. A loser mentality. You know, because winners don't think like that. Winners always think of the possibilities and what's possible. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, he was an inspiration to me. You know, so I don't know why these women over here celebrating because Kevin Samuels died, because that's not stopping nothing. He already planted the seed and watered it. It's over. You know, these dang old women, they done had 50 years of having fun, being told they was God's gift to every dang nobody and that they can do no wrong and this and this and that, and they've been able to talk down the men and demean men and all that BS. That time is over. You know, so black men, it's just time that we take control, man. Stop bitching, griping, and complaining and get to work. You know, of course there's gonna be opposition. So what? They just gonna get ran over. Simple as plain. You know what I'm saying? Because as long as you want it, can't nobody stop you. Can't nobody stop you but you.
I know that's right. Literally, only you can stop yourself. For real.
Right.
Thank you so much, Dion, for coming on finally, right? And sharing your perspective and especially this aspect of it, because again, a lot of these parts of the conversation get overlooked because it's just women, and yes, men, but like how men are being talked to and empowered and all of that. So thank you so much, Dion, for coming on and being patient and sharing your perspective. I really, really appreciate it.
No problem.
Blessings.
All right, bye.
And this is from the comment. I want to read this comment. It says, it's from Chow. It says, he wanted to make sure women didn't die alone. Not sure how that's bad. I mean, he literally said it all the time. Like, he literally said this every single time. So Demetrius and then Mr. Eugene Steele, I'm going to come right back to you. Guys, I'm so tired, okay? Let me just say that. I'm very tired. And I see Jerome and I see Damba. I'm going to come to you guys as well. As I'm just really so tired. My mom, so when I started doing certain things, like my mom definitely was not the kind of person that was so down for the conversations, right? Like didn't understand where he was coming from, didn't understand certain things. And it's funny because at 3 a.m. my mom was like, oh my gosh, after I had already kind of known and stuff like that, she was so alarmed and just in disbelief and kind of heartbroken about it too, because it's one thing to see somebody all the time popping up on your feed or popping up on like the Shade Room or like other places all the time. But like to know that person is not going to be popping up anymore was such a shock. So I've been up for like a while and I'm just tired. So I just got to let you guys know I'm not going to be on here all night, but I'm gonna get to the rest of the callers, and then we'll obviously like wrap this up, and then I'll say some final thoughts, and we'll just move it forward. But Demetrius, thank you so much for being patient.
No doubt. Yeah. So, like a lot of other people, I didn't believe it, and it took me a while. Honestly, I believed it once I heard Anton talk about it. Once I heard him talk about it, I said it's true.
Mhm.
And I've been getting calls because people know I listened to him, and I was always on the phone debating about the things he discussed. So I've been on the phone throughout the morning and even night, because I work at night,
Right.
just debating and fussing about it or whatever. But I'll say I got to attend Dr. Frances Quest Wilson, who wrote the ISIS papers.
Mhm.
So I attended her lectures from 2007 to up and when she passed away. And it hurt. And the thing that I thought about before I let the pain of losing her as far as the community was concerned was she for like 40 years she put out a lot of information, enough information for us to study for a lifetime and move forward. Now, we didn't have Kevin Samuels for that long. However, he did put out a lot of content. So I would just suggest, because I still do it myself, I go back and listen to some of the old stuff and just get an understanding of some of the things back then, and just kind of get refreshed on some of the things. And even sometimes I wouldn't listen to him for a while so I could come back and get a fresh perspective on it. You know what I mean? But
Right.
now he's gone, so we're not going to get the more up-to-date content, from him. But there is enough content out there. I mean, I think almost 900 videos that people can listen to. Exactly, because that's like the new music now. I mean, people don't really listen to music. People listen to podcasts. People don't watch TV. People are on YouTube. I'm on YouTube so much they send me notifications all the time. Your phone is about to slow down. You used all your data. And when you look at my data, the only data I'm really using is my YouTube, because I'm always on YouTube looking at different videos, like a lot of us. So overall, I would just say the information that's out there, we just have to revisit it, study it, represent it the correct way. I haven't been on a Clubhouse since July, but I had to go up there because I had to see. I knew they was gonna be tripping up there, so I went up there today just to see what people was talking about, and it was good, it was bad. People were saying a lot of foul and untrue things. You know what I mean? But overall, one thing that always resonates with me is when he asked women in particular, but I always looked at myself in it, is what you're gonna do between 65 and 85 when you're done with working, or at least you should be. Are you gonna have X amount of dollars to get you through life?
Right.
So that was the main thing. I looked at his message as something that he put things in perspective. Things that, yes, we might have heard before. Yes, barbershop talk. But he put it all, and he simplified it, like the brother just said. He gave you data and statistics, things that you didn't even really consider. You know what I mean? So he really just polished up and fine-tuned a lot of the information that we already knew, and some things that we never considered. Because there's a lot of things that I never considered. The fact that men want to get married more so than women. But watching this show, and so many women were calling in that used to be engaged and were engaged 2 and 3 times. Well, that means that 3 separate men tried to marry them. Therefore, men are out here trying to get married.
Right.
And that 51% of men don't have kids. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not true. But I thought about it. I know 20 guys that don't have kids. I sat down and wrote it down. I said, including myself. So I said, he might be right about that. Of course, I don't know all 51%, but if I know 20 plus myself, and I'm one of them, it may be some validity to what he's saying. So I think overall, he sparked the conversation, of course, on a more mainstream level.
Yep.
And he also put a lot of things in perspective, and he polished up a lot of things, and he did leave a lot of information and a lot of a blueprint on how to set up your podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your mic now, and you know what I'm saying? Like, he's definitely inspired a lot of people to do it the correct way and not counting people behind the scenes that's done business with him and, you know, the things that he was, you know, putting together behind the scenes with a lot of people. So, you know, he's going to definitely be missed. However, he's left a lot of information for us to build on. So I'm going to just leave it right there. I appreciate you bringing me up.
Of course, Demetrius. Thank you so much. And Demetrius said some facts, man, because regardless of anything, you know, he's still here. Even though he has transitioned, like when you really look at it, he's still here because all of his stuff is still here. I can guarantee that there is nobody in this chat, okay, that has literally seen every single video on his channel. Not possible. Okay. I would bet you $1 that I can't find a person. I would say $1 because it might be somebody, but you know, I can guarantee that it's very rare that you're going to find somebody that literally is on every single video that he's ever posted, every single Instagram that live stream that he's ever done. It's not even possible. You know, so people can always go back and look and reflect and have the conversation or have deeper conversations and see different aspects, especially based on the titles, knowing like, okay, I'm going through this right now. Maybe I can look at this in my relationship and see.
And you know, for years, like he talked about the die-alone thing. For years, people have said that. I mean, Demetrius, you drive a hard bargain. You can be by yourself. People been saying that to people for years that had their way about themselves. Again, like I said, he polished it up and made it like a saying, you know, buy a dog, die alone, so it hit different. But people been telling each other that you gonna be by yourself. They don't say you die alone. That does hit different than you gonna be by yourself, but you gonna be by yourself. I've heard that many times. Cause a girl just told me that the other night. You just hard. You just a hard nut to crack. I mean, I don't know what girl gonna deal with you. I mean, we've been hearing that, men and women. So, you know, like I said, the way he put it, it just hit different for a lot of people, particularly women. And I understand their gripe, you know what I mean? But I always ask, what did the man say that was wrong? And the first thing I hear is, he said a lot of things. Well, what? I mean, you should be able to run off about 2 or 3, and they can't really do it. It's vague. You know what I mean? And or it's just like, I'm not gonna go into it because I don't want to, you know, take too much time. But just it was even on Clubhouse. Oh, he says he doesn't want women to have degrees. I'm like, that's not what he said. He said you have to be careful about spending a lot of time in school if you want to pursue a particular type of man.
Right.
That's just it. He's not saying if you decide to do that, how are you going to juggle a family and a man when you are a medical doctor? Not to say you can't do it, but if you have to prioritize in the meanwhile. So maybe, you know, 4-year degree might just work out versus going to school for 10 years. So he wasn't saying that those type of men want women that's high school diplomas and that's it. He's just saying, listen, that's not you don't have to have a PhD. You don't have to be on his quote unquote level. You know what I mean? Just be able to, you know, raise the kids and, you know, you got some sense, you know how to move in certain arenas or whatever. And college does help with that, but not a medical degree, you know, not even an MBA. So a lot of people been putting stuff out there that they're taking it totally out of context. But you know, you that's to be expected. But you know, we gonna all hold it down and we gonna all support you and people like yourself that's out there. So
give thanks,
you know,
Demetrius. Thank you
no
so
doubt.
much, brother.
And I'm rocking my stone. I got my birthstone on today. Yeah, so it's a ruby. I'm a Cancer, so yeah.
Oh,
and I always
wow.
gotta you know, because I know I know you done discussed the stones before, but yeah, that's for another time.
That's my and that's my birthstone too.
Oh, you're a Cancer?
No, I'm actually a Leo, but that's
okay.
But I'm a July, so the ruby. Yeah.
I got you. Cool.
Yes.
All right, that's what's up.
Brother.
Okay. Peace.
it's so funny because like I have some people who I see all the time when I do my live streams, you know, Kashawn, Kirk, and Mr. Steele and Demetrius and Edward. Where's Edward? Where's Edward? Edward all right, y'all? I haven't seen Edward in a long time. But like a lot of people, and it's like we just have like this camaraderie with each other, and I feel like it's just because of the deep conversations that we've all witnessed right in front of each other. Somebody was saying that some of his last YouTube videos are good, and somebody else made a comment that I wanted to bring up, but I can't find it right now. Mr. Eugene Steele, thank you so much for being so patient. Thank you.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. It is a shocker, you know, to hear about Kevin Samuels' death, and I'll be honest with you, I couldn't believe it. You know, the first time I've ever heard of Kevin Samuel was actually through Jessica X's site, where Jessica, has shown videos of Kevin and talked so highly of him. In fact, I think Jessica and Kevin were very close. They've always communicated with each other. So, after watching Jessica talk about Kevin, I'm like, I need to check out this Kevin, dude. So I started watching his videos, and one thing I've noticed about the monologues, had no monologues like any other person I've ever listened to, not just content creators, but any other person. He made things easy to understand. He talks about a high value man, but from listening to him, it actually relates to any man, really, because he talked about the women, how they should be. He talks about the realism, but I also remember watching a recording of his earlier videos where he was talking to the men. And it was one video he talks about, if you want to get promoted, you have to cut your dreads. If you're working in a white man's company, you have to cut your dreads. He was very transparent about his story about how he came up, how he's gotten promoted so many times. And I was like, wow, it is because of the attitude he had. He did not have an attitude where he was a lone wolf or anything like that.
Right.
He went to sources to see how he could be a better salesperson and everything. And then fast forwarding to the time where he started talking to women, it made me reflect on all my past relationships and the type of women I was dealing with in my past relationships. Now, I want to say, before I heard Kevin, all this type of truth from Kevin, I was hearing truth from Danica at the time. And she basically talked about the same things he was talking about.
Right.
And I was listening to Kevin, I was like, wow. But I think what really stood out is he showed us as men what kind of women to avoid. All these women calling in here with these negative attitudes and things of that nature. And, that's the thing. All the people who keep saying that, Kevin's so rude to women, they don't pay attention to how rude they were before he struck back.
Right.
They didn't pay attention to it. And he really showed me the type of women to avoid. The one that really stuck out to me was how a woman said she didn't want to smile, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
She gave her reasons, pretty mundane reasons, but yeah, they were. But now, 10 o'clock 11 o'clock tonight, it's going to be a big hole because that's when he usually comes on.
I know.
Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So this is going to be a big void to a big void to fill. But one thing I will say, there's a lot of content. See, Kevin's objective is to basically bring the Black nuclear family together. That's what he was ultimately doing. And right now, there are lots and lots of content creators who have that same objective.
Right.
Today. So I want to close out with a message to you and to all the content creators I resonate with.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to continue Kevin Samuel's legacy, all you gotta do is just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing right now. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Steele. That means a lot from you, because I see you in all the spaces. So I know, what you resonate with. So that really means a lot to me. That really, really touched me. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. One last thing.
Go ahead.
And I was fortunate to actually be in 3 of Kevin streams as well, which the third time I will admit I did make myself look silly because I did not understand his question. You know how Kevin was.
Yeah.
He missed, read his questions. So that's it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Steele.
Thank you.
It's crazy, man. I can't believe we're having this conversation. Every time somebody else comes on and has a piece of the conversation, I'm like, what? Like every time again, I'm like, wait, what? Jerome in the house, Damba, Nagasi, and Dawson. I'm going to be right with you guys. I'm going to bring up one more person first, and then I'm going to go through with you 3, and then I'm going to go ahead and finish out the stream. I wanted to read this. It says, I became a better man because of KS. He left behind a great message for all of us. We are his legacy. We are Kevin Samuels. Let's keep his work going. For real. Like, there's no words. There's honestly no words, because Kirk, you already know. How many times have we talked about this man together, like on these streams?
River,
My brother, please.
Yo, I am telling you, good evening to you and your subscribers. And I don't have a sad day for Kevin Samuel. Today's Friday, man, and as you can see, I'm driving. I'm happy for the legacy Kevin Samuel is leaving. And for all these people think that it's over, it's just begun, man. Listen, every time a legend pass away, a new legend is born. Don't get it twisted. Every single time a legend is passed away, a legend is born. All right? I literally is enjoying this Friday because I know for a fact that what he stands for is the truth. I am a man that work my ass off, and I work. You know that I got my trucking company, and you know that I got a beautiful wife. You know my life. Yeah. And when he talks about I value men, I can relate to that because I seen all these girls out here who just want to pop up, and because they got a pretty face and a nice body, you think we should just slap you with 20 grand, and it doesn't work like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
But at the same time, I'm just celebrating because I know for a fact that the game has just begun. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Listen. Kevin Samuel was a person, and I get it. I'm from Jamaica, right? And you got a Jamaican background. And in this culture, it has nothing to do with black or white. Hear me out, because I know a lot of people like to run to this stereotype stuff. In this culture, it does not promote truth. Even if you want to start a business, they will not tell you the truth how to get a business put together, as whether you're black or white or whatever. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Everything in America is designed based on your status. If you know the sheriff department, if you know the guy down the block, it's all about connection and networking. You gotta fight your way to get it to the top. You get
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so in this country, because it's designed to keep us everybody down, when somebody break away and tell the truth about what's going on, we get ridiculed. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Black women have been rolling around on a roller coaster for years. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's time for everybody to keep everybody in check. We got girls coming out here, the boss chick. What are you boss about? You ain't bringing no 100,000 a year. Ain't no man flying you across the state and telling you you got to be at a meeting tomorrow at 7 o'clock. You
You
get
don't
what
have.
I'm saying?
Remember, you said you don't have any employees.
You ain't got no employees. And let me tell you something, River. Let me tell you. Listen to this.
Mhm.
You popped up on my alert because you got I subscribe and I have my notification.
Right.
I was in a meeting and I'm telling you, man, I wanted to come out of that meeting so bad. I've been watching you from 5:45 and I wanted to leave, but I got been talking about money.
You're like, I want to come, please.
And so as soon as I come out, I send you the message. Could you please drop the link? I want to get it.
Because you wanted, you're like, no, I have to. I have to be a
get
part of
in.
this.
But the
I
truth of
know.
the matter is, man, he's a legend. He know what he's talking about. Even on my channel, people does not want to hear the truth about what I'm telling them. And so let me say this to you guys, man. Let me say this. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. From a
Mhm.
black man to the black community. Guys, listen. The more you know the truth, it's easier and it's a better life for you. Don't take it the wrong way, man. Please. Don't take it the wrong way. The more you know the truth, it provides you a better life. It makes
true.
your life become so much easier.
Easier.
Please, guys, you guys are taking this the wrong way. When somebody's preaching something to you, like me and River and Edward and Kishan and Kevin, someone and your coworker and your boss and everybody, don't take it the wrong way. It's for your better good. It's gonna help you in the long run. You don't see it now, but it's going to help you. Trust me. I've been to this country in 2003, from 2003, no green card. And now, 18 years later, I'm a U.S. citizen. I own a company. I have a wife and kids that go, I have the whole shebang. And if I were listening to people that was trying to tell me about the white man this and the white man that and this whole entire culture, I wouldn't be where I'm at. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And when Kevin Samuel does his show, all he's doing is trying to educate you guys and elevate you guys and get you guys to have discipline and temperament and structure. That's what River do. When River do this review about women, that she not bashing you guys. She's trying to. My wife I've been working 10 years. In 10 years. This woman never works. Her last job was a supervisor in Brooklyn for a company for over 25 employees. Never worked since I pulled her from that job. It's for the better good. When you have a man that is on his purpose, when you have a man that is structured, when you have a man, my wife is an IT. She's an IT.
Right.
She have a degree in medical. My wife haven't used her degree from the day she go to Monroe College. I paid $36,000 for her to go to school, and she never used her degree. Like, you guys are taking offense to things that is just, you looking at it as a wrong way.
It's true.
$36,000 for her first semester. She went to school for 4 years and never used her degree. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And now She's a part of my company that runs my company. I can fly my wife here. I can fly my wife there and ask her to do anything. So when he's talking about I value man and he's talking about this, he's 100% correct. We talk about this a lot of time.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And so he goes into the dialogue and try to keep everybody in line and make your life easy. And let me tell you something about having a woman that is of value. Because that's what he was trying to teach you. Women of value. Value to a man. I said to a man, don't talk about it. Don't challenge us. We're not, my cousin, River, we had this conversation before. My wife cousin said that she don't want to be a slave because she don't want to marry because she don't want to be a slave. Well, she got a guy messing with her, and all this stuff my wife got, she don't got it.
Because she don't want to be a slave.
Because she don't want to be a slave. And my wife is like, shit, I'm a slave. I'm going to take all the shit that you don't want, that you think, excuse my language, but you get what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
And
everything that you're saying is so hard. You know, she's willing to.
And we got kids together. Some of you women got kids together and you're still out of order. You're still unruly. You're still disciplined. And you want a man like me to take you up and spend money on you? It's not going to happen. Cut it out. It's never going to happen. I don't even argue with my wife. Why am I going to pick you up? That's going to challenge me. I'm not going to do it. You get what? Listen, I just want to come in here and just tell you, man, I really, really felt, I heard about the story last night because I was, as I said, man, I was preparing for this meeting today. And one of my friends texted me and he said, you know, your boy Kevin Samuel passed away. And I immediately went to YouTube and I went to your channel. I went to Chantel. I went everywhere trying to see who's covering the story. And it's just one guy, I forgot his name. I know him and Kevin Samuel, his friend. And when he dropped the story, I'm like, oh man, if he said it, because he was saying O'Shea Jackson told him that it, you know, and I knew that it was the truth. But as a black culture, man, we gotta do better. This is 2022. We have more access to money. We have more access to information. We as a culture should be way advanced, man. Look at me. I'm driving from a meeting talking to you, and I'm trying to get off this meeting. I literally leave 6:30. I wanted to get out so bad, but I'm talking about business. But at the same time, this is what Kevin Samuel was pushing. Get a business, get a man that have his purpose, get a man that's on his role. So when you come and all the haters, all you ladies and men and all these people celebrating, let me tell you something. Because a lot of people are saying that, you know, people are excited that he passed away. Let me tell you something. Kevin Samuel might have passed away, but his legacy lives on. And that's the most important thing. You could look around. It's always going to be talking about Kevin Samuel. Nobody will ever top that.
Nope.
Nobody. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. And I know for sure I'm always gonna bring him up. I always have. Okay, I always bring him somehow.
You are so loyal to Kevin Williams. I'm sorry, you are so loyal to Kevin Samuel, man. You and a lot of other people, man. And I'm telling you, River, I'm telling you this right now, River. The game just begun, and because now that he's not here, it's gonna be more intense for you. It's gonna be more. You got to be more stern, because now, as I said, every time a legend is removed, a legend is born. It's up to us to carry on that mindset and that culture and that whole entire ideology of I don't want no man. You get what I'm saying? And so I'm just like I said, man, it's a sad story. And one of the things I want to say about Kevin that I wanted to say, he was born 3 days before me. He born March 13. I born March 16. And let me tell you something about March, man. We don't take crap from nobody. We don't play games. You get what I'm saying? And we're very aggressive in terms of making money. We're very stern. We're very driven, and then I'm a Jamaican on top of that. You know, I'm a beast. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, he was a guy that I look up to. And my wife, the first time I let my wife watch him, she was like, "Oh, I don't like him. I don't. Oh, nah. You come on, River. You know. Oh, all the women are. It's telling you to have a next woman." And I'm like, babe, hey. He's not telling you that. He's just telling you that I value man of choices and preference and all these different. He's not telling us to go out and go cheat. That's not what he's saying. But and I gotta check. And then as soon as I let my wife watch him and she see a bunch of women coming over, and they're like, "Oh, well, I want a man and I don't want to work." And my wife is like, "I work my ass off." I'm sorry, River, but my wife is like, "I work my butt off, but you don't want to work and you want to be where I'm at." I'm like, there you go.
It's so funny because there's so many women that I've had conversations with over and over again throughout the span of time. And they're like, "Oh, even people I know, like not just people in these spaces, but like people I know, like in real life." And I'll talk to them and they're like, "Oh, so I noticed that you started like talking about that guy. What's his name?" They know his name. Right? They know exactly his name, but they're trying to like, "Oh yeah, that guy that you're talking about. Yeah, I don't like how I understand what he's saying, but I just feel like his delivery and I feel like this." And when I speak to them and I do exactly what I'm doing here, right? I'm not doing it. I do it off of YouTube in real life. There's no commercials running. There's nothing. I'm having conversations with women and for real. And every time, it's not been one time, every time after like having the conversation, they always come back and they always say, "At first I didn't like him, but now I understand. And now that I've actually listened and not listened to what was going on social media, and I actually listened for myself, what's wrong with these girls? Why are they this and why are they that? And you know what? He's so right. And it's changed this and it's changed that, So it's people who I've known, some women, some men, but like some people it's so weird. Like a lot of people know me from his content, but then some people know him from my content. You know what I'm saying? And they will come to me and say, "Hey, you put me onto this video and I watched it and I started watching all his other videos and it impacted my life so drastically." So the biggest thing is that like I love how you came in here like turned up, like celebrating, like yep, like we on one for our boy Kevin, like
I know.
I love that because it's needed. It's the energy that's definitely needed for the time, and everybody, I'm sure, even in the comment section, can feel that excitement from you being a part of all of us being a part of the greater goal.
Exactly. And I don't want you to have a down and depressing and look at it as a negative, because like I said, man, life is like it's like what's that race that you have to run to the next person and pass on the torch to them,
baton.
The baton. So Kevin has passed the baton to people like you and other people that is in this space. So don't look at it as a dull. Cheer up. You get what I'm saying? Is the most important thing. Listen, let me tell you this, River. The most important thing a man can ever leave behind is his character and his legacy. Kevin was a man of character and legacy.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And this is why I'm so happy, because I'm not happy that he passed away. I'm happy because I'm celebrating that even though he passed away, the gems that he left is way more valued. It is so many structure in his. We all can learn. Even sometimes I looked at some of the stuff he's talking about. I have made those past mistakes. Before I get married, I used to run down these girls. Like he talk about that guy that was broke and overweight. I used to be a broke dude, just about 1991 under a car. I want a pretty girl like you. And I was dead on. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get River. I'm gonna try to get her out tonight.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But I understood that I have to get my stuff together first.
Right.
Now I'm picking it. Now, if I was supposed to ever get divorced, I would pick and choose who I want to marry.
Mm-hmm.
It would be so hard. You get what I'm saying?
Right. It wouldn't be hard attracting someone. It would be hard to figure out which one you want.
Exactly, which one I want, because then, but as you know, I'm married. I'm happily married. Me and my wife this year gonna be 10 years we're married. She ain't
Right.
going nowhere. And by the way, if I get divorced, you know I got a lot to lose, right?
I'm she gonna be like, yep, I've been here for
Right, she get
this
a
and
house, a
this and
car,
this.
the whole shebang, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, man, as a black culture, man, and I just wanted to change the mood, because I like I
Yeah.
said, I was in this meeting and I'm watching and I'm seeing everybody come in depressed and blah blah blah. And I just want to come on and just say, guys, just look, man, we don't look at it as a negative. It's still a win. The truth is
Yes.
gonna continue. We're still gonna have people like River and a lot of other people that gonna bring on the legacy and do our thing, man. And even on my channel, man, I still talk about people today with the nonsense. Want to be in the trucking business, just be nonsense about it. You get what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
like I said, man, Kevin is a unique, one of a kind person. Nobody will ever replace him.
Mm-mm.
Nobody.
Mm-mm.
Nobody. You get what I'm saying? And I
Yep.
don't care. And like I said, I'm going to say this to you and I'm going to wrap it up. River, the game has just begun. Put on your running boots. Strap up your running boots. You better get some of those big Mike Tyson belt and get some punching bag
And start getting ready.
and start getting ready. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
start getting ready, because now it is up to us. It's up to people like you to carry on that torch, man. I'm telling you. You get what I'm saying? And one thing I love about your channel, and I love it, River. Let me tell you, man, I love your channel so much. Trust me, not because I don't comment in the comment section. You know I'm a truck driver.
Yeah.
When
Right.
you sleeping, I'm watching your video. I'm just
Right.
telling you that right now.
Thank you.
That's why I can call and comment on a lot of the stuff you do.
Right.
But let me tell
Thank
you this,
you.
River. I be driving my truck like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and trust me, I've been watching you. I've been watching all those nonsense that you've been reviewing and commenting on about these women with high value men, and I ain't gonna do this and that and all that. So trust me, I watch it. But let me tell you this, River. You know, one of the things I love about you is you be you.
Mm.
That's what I love about you. That's what attracts me about you, because you always be you. You get what I'm saying? And so I'm just here to tell you, man, don't change that for anybody. I don't care what comment you get. I don't care what email you get. I don't care who have a opinion. Be you, because you is a genuine person. And I'm not saying this because I'm on your live, but you know how I feel about you.
Yeah.
Even from me and Kishan and all that, I always express my feeling about you. Ain't nobody trying to compromise on River TV. We tell it the way it is. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I just want to just touch on here and I'm going home. I'm going to watch a movie with the wife. And I'm just telling you, man, I'm excited about today. I'm just, like I said, man, I love Kevin Samuel from the bottom of my heart. He was a true trooper. He kept it real. And all you people don't like, listen, all you tenderonis, because all you all are a bunch of tenderonis. All you tenderonis, if you don't like what we say about the truth, all you got to do is just go on YouTube. And you see the part that says subscribe, create a YouTube channel. All you got to do is just create a YouTube channel, man. You ain't got to watch nobody else. You ain't got to watch a goddamn body else. And get your own little subscribers and use your phone like what I'm using. You get what I'm saying? I say, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. And when people start to curse you out, you'll understand why me and River and other people do the stuff we do. River,
True.
it
I
is
love
what
you
it
so much,
is.
my brother. I love you.
May God bless his soul and bless his family. All the condolence go to his friend and his family, man. And like I said, man, just keep pushing and just keep going. And you know your boy Kirky Fresh, man. I keep it real, man. And I'm, you know what I mean? But I don't know. It is what it is. And right now there's so many speculation, but it doesn't matter.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't matter what it is. The man has made a mark on the face of this earth, and he has passed on. The baton is passed on to people like you. And let me tell you something, River. We got to just live up to the legacy.
Mm-hmm.
For years, for years, let me say this before I jump off. For years, the Black community have not created a new legacy. Our legacy has wrapped up in slavery, killing. You looked in the pandemic, we were still being murdered. We were wrapped up in bondage and slavery. And now all we have to do is up to us to rewrite our history as a Black community and stop dwelling this nonsense and stop blaming everybody and stop being weak and stop being submitted to the wrong thing. And let us unite together and rewrite our history so our kids and grandkids can pass on to that new history. The Jewish community have done that. They have learned from the Holocaust. They have rewrite the history, and they're very successful.
Mm-hmm.
We're the only one that's holding on to this past from 19, God knows how long. And we gotta let that go, man.
It's true.
We gotta let that go. But I'm gonna drop it here, man. You know, I love you, River. You know,
Love you,
man, thank you for dropping the link, man.
Of course.
But big up to you and all your subscribers, man. And I love you guys, and I really appreciate you dropping me in, man. And to all the Kevin Samuel fans, man, listen, man, don't see it as a dull moment. It's just an obstacle in the way. We're gonna continue. Like Didi would say, let's continue.
Up and up, up and up and up.
Exactly. So
yes,
I just want to say, man, and just stay safe out there, man. And like I said, man, just keep it real, and it is what it is. All right.
Same. Blessing and love, my brother.
I love you, man, and just keep it going, man, and just keep the faith. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, and just drink a glass of Chardonnay tonight, because I know you got a lot of tequila at your house.
Okay, for real, need to buy some champagne, something.
All right, Ruben. Yes. All right, cool.
Guys, okay, so Damba, coming to you next. Okay, I know you've been waiting for a while. I know that I'm trying to find it. Jerome, Jay Takashi, Kevin C. I'm coming to you guys. Okay, I definitely am. Kirk said so much. Okay, Kirk said so much, and it's funny because all of the encouragement and stuff like that, like I love Kirk is he's been my subscriber from a very long time ago. Okay, like when I do live stream, he's here, just like a Jay and all the names of Uncle Lo, Kashawn, Edward. Like I can name, Mr. Steele, a couple of people that are always like coming up and having a part of the conversation, and it means a lot when people can align you with someone that's so legendary and so big and so massive and so great. And especially when you are just coming and sharing a perspective and trying to get people to understand it. And really when your heart is to the mission of it, your heart being to the mission of the greater goal, I just feel honored to even be a part of even this kind of conversation, and even with this comment on the screen from Vocabulary saying, I think plenty of the women who shunned Kevin Samuels will go back and really watch his vids now that he's gone. I really hope so. I really hope so. Obviously, we're not talking about the naysayers and the this and the that, but you'd be surprised. People will go back and re-listen and say, wow, like, I can't believe I missed all these gems that came forth. To my love. Okay. Hi, my daughter. So sad to hear. I knew I was waiting for you to hear about this because I was saying that I know you were going to hear about it. Yeah, it's literally insane. Like even as much as we're still talking about it, I still can't believe we're talking about it. It's like it's kind of surreal, but I like everything that Kirk said. It's a march on. Everybody thinks, the people who were rejoicing and the people who are going on and on, they feel like, oh, maybe finally these guys are going to stop wanting more. Oh, you think so? Hell no. We're going to keep pushing forward and getting our relationships to a space. And one thing that Kevin was very, very big on was community. You know, talking about that there's no more community anymore. There's no more esteem. There's no more respect anymore. And we're here to bring that bond back together and revive that community-based and strong family unit back together. Okay, Damba. Am I saying your name right? Uh-oh, I think you're on mute.
Yeah, it's Damba.
Okay.
Damba, however you please.
Okay. Thank you so much for being patient. I know there's been a lot of people that have come on, and it's yes.
I mean,
Go ahead.
it's your job. I can't take from that. That's why I just sat back and waited. But
Yeah.
everybody that came on said mostly what I wanted to say. But I just wanted to share a small moment from, like, I think it was September, October. That's when I started watching your show. And
Mm,
before I watched your show, I had already watched a few videos of Kevin Samuel. And the videos I watched, people were criticizing, even me for quoting it. But to be honest, a lot of the things he teaches, I've been teaching for years. I'm not
mm,
an old guy, I'm 37. But throughout my life, I've been through quite a few relationships. And it's a lot of things I've learned because it's for women from the age of 22 to 48. And it's a lot of things that I saw. So when I watched your video and then you was pinpointing the things you were saying, I was like, wow, he's really going in on them. And it's nothing bad that he's saying. He's just basically showing them themselves. People don't like
mhm.
to see the mirror. And that's sad. But how people are downplaying what he did, that's sad. Because a lot of them don't even have parents. That's why they can't see the parenting that he was doing.
Right.
People are
No, it's
grown
true.
kids. It's just a bunch of grown kids out here, man. It's like they left high school and high school didn't leave them.
Valid.
But that's all I wanted to say, though. Just keep doing what you're doing. I support, I salute. I'm going to keep watching.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much for coming up.
For sure.
That's so true. You know, a lot of people can't resonate with the message because they're not used to anybody even talking to them like that, right? Or telling them the truth or telling them honest opinions or feelings. Jerome in the house, thank you so much for being patient. Okay, it's been a long line back here.
I know. I'm so. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not even worried about that. You know, some people can take, the way they grieve, but man, my heart's still heavy.
Mm,
And he was so much of an influence on me.
mhm.
And then, like, you want somebody to care about you and your issues as a man. You know, we do care about women issues. We all like even Kevin Samuels say, like, all over every program you hear women talking. You hear women talking, with Whoopi Goldberg and all them talking. It's everywhere. But to have that one space where a man knows somebody actually care about the issues he going through, and not
Right.
just high value man, just the average man, just us everyday Joe that walks around here. He cared, and man, when I heard, I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to, because I saw his program the other night, and
Mm,
he got up that morning and cut it on and was watching Melena, and I was like, no, this cannot be. People ought to stop playing like this. But look at us now. But like I like the energy the last brother brought in, and I try to vibe with that energy, but
it's
I
hard.
know in my heart I'm gonna miss that man. He thought logically. He didn't think through his emotions. He acted civil, even though they tried to bring him off his square. He still was there with them. Like, nah, you ain't finna bring me off his square. And that's that masculinity. You can call it toxic, you can call it whatever, but it got through to people. It got
Yep.
through to people. It got through to me. I got my CDLs. Let me tell you,
Mhm.
I shaped up. I went to the gym. I still go to the gym now.
you know. And like you said, the health is your wealth. And you know, when I finally discovered him, I discovered when he was talking to the women first, when he started talking to the women first, but then I had to go back and look at what he was telling the men. And he didn't pay no Denny on none of them. I feel like this is like the Pootie Tang movie where Pootie Tang died. And everybody listened because he was that famous. He didn't start no movie. He didn't have to write no songs. He just spoke his truth. He spoke his truth in a civilized manner where we can sit down and talk about our issues. And in the Black community, it's not perfect. It's not the greatest place to be, but at least we can sit down and all talk about our issues. And and I can sit here and say I have issue with this, have issue with that. But then he reflected off on me. He said, "What about you? What are you doing? Where are you? What about you? Shut up." I done heard him tell men to be quiet. Get yourself together first before you talk about that woman. I done heard him stop women in mid-conversation. Don't you talk about no man. You have no right to talk about no man. You don't even have a stage to talk about no man. And for a man to love his people, I can't do nothing but love that man. I don't care if I didn't meet him, shake his hand, whatever. I don't have to love you to meet you. Just let me listen to you. Just let me sit back, you know. And if I start bobbing my head, and like, man, that's true. And I start thinking, you got me. You made me think. You made me come out my own box and think. It's like I feel like he was like my stepdad. My stepdad was born in the 50s, 60s, 40s. You know what I'm saying? They put him in the 2022. You know, it's like he was before his time or after his time. It was just amazing and refreshing to listen to Samuel, you know, and listen to the truth. I don't care how you bring it out. I don't care if it's harsh or whatever, long as it does the work.
Yep.
Long as it change your mind and make you want to do better and be a better version of yourself. I know you heard him say that. Be a better. And, you know, from now on, that's what I'm working on.
Being a better version of yourself.
It's once in a lifetime a person can come in your life and motivate you. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. But it's just like I feel like in that movie when Malcolm X died, it was a movie when Malcolm X died and everybody was feeling down like they lost the king. That's how I feel. Like, man, that was my king right there. I respect that man. And then it hurts me to hear y'all talk about that man like that. A human being. I said, despite what you may think about him, he still was a human being living and thriving amongst us and telling the truth and wanting the best for his community. Because you notice when he said, he was saying, yeah, about women, but I'm especially talking about Black women. I'm talking about my women, you know what I'm saying? Because he had that love, and women might take that wrong, but love come in different form, caring come in different form. It don't have to come in all Disneyland. Ooh, you know, I'm finna bow you down, kiss you. Here come the prince with the sword saving you from the dragon. No. Truth can come, man. And then afterwards, it heals you. That's the wonderful thing about it. It heals you. It makes you a better person. So you can tell that next person. We should be telling that next person. Women should be telling women. Women should be teaching women. Men should be teaching men. You know, because oh wow. This man.
I agree
it's
with
been
you.
a long day.
It's a lot, but you know, again, it's just taking all of the information, taking all of the teachings and the lessons and the guidance and all the information that was dropped into your hand, and like you said, continuing to level up. You know, it's rough because again, when when you see somebody like Kevin Samuels who has a schedule, you're used to seeing him. Most people would even see him maybe even more than their own family because they know he's
Yeah.
gonna be live at this time, he's gonna be live at this time, he's gonna be on Instagram at this time. You know what I'm saying? So it is a lot. It is a lot too. And it's going to be a hard adjustment for people like you who watched every live stream. You know what I'm saying? But we give thanks again to be in the space in the time that he's been like, expressing and watching these things live. And even though, like you said, not being in the same room with him, not meeting him face to face, but sharing live time with this person over
Yeah.
and over and over again. He's made such an amazing impact. And I want to thank you for coming up here and having the courage to share how much he's impacted your life. And we definitely want to.
And I just wanted to say one more thing that really kind of hurt my feelings about what somebody said. Like, he's telling people to lose weight and blah blah blah. And he should have been in the doctor office and I'm reading this stuff like, y'all are so evil and wicked. What?
Yes.
Girl, why you couldn't tell him to his face when he was here? What was wrong with telling him to his face? You can call in. You can pay your little money, call in, and tell them what you just said. Now what?
Yeah,
But
it's just they always the naysayers always have to have something to say. And again, you're talking about somebody else, but that says more about your character than it does about that man's character, So, and we want to focus on the good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about what you're saying, but I'm saying in general, like the people who listen to the message, they take the meat, spit out the bones. Whatever they need from it, they take from it. What they don't need, they let it pass them by. Not emotionally listening, but listening to learn and make the change, because we understand how drastic the change needs to be made, how much the conversation needs to be had, because we're in dire situations within our relationships. And again, Jerome, thank you so much for coming on.
building a strong community. That's all he
Exactly.
wants. Build
That's
a
all we
strong.
wanted to do. And we will continue. Thank you,
All right,
Jerome.
have a blessed day.
You
Bless
too.
you. I watch you and much love. Oh man, thank you.
Blessings,
Thank you for
brother.
having me.
Blessings. Thank you so much. I want to read this comment. It says Kevin Samuel started the conversation. It's up to each of us to continue the conversation. But not, I think is what to say, but most importantly, we must actuate and complete the work for real. And it's putting the words and the works in motion, actually doing what's necessary in the spaces. And I saw this comment from 2 Cents Uncensored. I can't go back to it now, but it was saying, she's a married woman that loved her some Kevin Samuels. She says that her and her husband started watching Kevin way back, and it improved both of their lives tremendously. And there's so many people over and over and over again who are saying this exact same thing. So yeah, whoever cares about, all the negativity, you already know on River TV, I can't. I literally don't delve into the negativity. I let them go on to their own demise. But positively, Kevin is a legend, and I still can't believe we're having this conversation. Jay Takashi, hello.
Konnichiwa, Mila-san.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm great. I'm tired, but I'm great. How are you?
Please understand, guys. It's actually crazy. I'm like I said, we're gonna be here. I'm here to talk about Kevin, not my problems. But like I had a really rough day today. But I want to shout something out to Kevin, real quick. I think he understood having a a circle of men around you in order to help you during those tough times. I had that with me at my day after work today, and he was there. He heard everything I needed to hear, and I heard his perspective of helping me out. And I want to give a shout out to that man for also reminding me of that some stuff of when I needed a brotherhood for. And I found at a young age, I found me a really great one. So Kevin technically is kind of responsible to reiterate that effect to you, the people you have around you. And I think that should be highlighted too. So first of all, I'm going to say Thank you, Kevin Samuels, for some of the stuff that you did. I don't agree 100% everything you said, but I agree with I'm more of the 50-50 guys, where like there's a lot of stuff that you said that did make a lot of sense to me. You know, trying to really trying to get to the head of some of our sisters and some of these in the community, to where it's like and also you got no dudes too, so don't get it twisted either, because I need to happen too, because I get on both too, just like he does. So I really proud of like the stuff that he was trying to implement in our community to get us to start talking about these conversations. These conversations are uncomfortable, yes, but at the same time, doesn't mean that you should go that just because you didn't agree with what he said, it doesn't give you the right to go ahead and make him a martyr and martyr the man's name and his passing. I've never known anybody in their life to do crap like that, besides with the Kobe situation, and that really irritates me too. At least some feminists came online and said, "Well, don't forget he raped a woman." I'm like, where the hell did this coming from? I was a kid when that came out, and I'm like, you were literally on this man's deathbed with his daughter, and you're gonna say some crap about that, especially the stuff that he did for women, which is crazy. Supporting the WNBA, they're not as good as men, but like we're gonna get it to that point where to where it gets there. A lot of people don't bring that up, like those quote unquote feminists that do crap like that. And when it's like the people who are self-hating, I realize, and this is what I noticed about y'all. I know you're not. Hopefully, you're not a Rivas, because you got to stay the hell away from her, because in this type of this platform that she has, because it's only surrounded by positive-minded people, but also people who have their own not grievances, but their own thoughts. And whenever you do something like that to turn something that should be a positive talk into something ugly, that really says more about you than Riva. Riva knows how to conduct herself in a good way. But we men, we know how to conduct ourselves in a very good way, when we're on her platform. But for y'all to just really be down on this man when he just died. And here's the thing, I didn't fully believe it yesterday, because I was like, I'm waiting until I hear my news. I can't just go off like, oh, he's gone. I'm like, let me find out more, guys. I need to know more. But now that it's really confirmed that he is like passed, that it's sad, and it's heartbreaking to a lot of people of what he meant, because like I said, the man got us talking. The man is really, he pushed out a narrative that we can be better and be the top of our race, honestly. And I've said that, and I've always believed that we could be the best, honestly, like the Asians, like the whites, even better, greater. If we came to a consensus and actually talked and actually heard each other out, and not talk to each other, not past one another. So I think the ones who don't really like to accept truth, and yes, sometimes it is grounded in some fact. I think what it is, I think they like to be in feel good moments, is what I tend to notice. Like, momentary things, kind of like a one-off with a woman. That's like, that's a good time for them, or a lady with a man. It's a one-time good moment, but it's kind of like, I think they've created a reality for themselves where they don't want to accept truth. Similar to going to a doctor to get the truth of what's wrong with you. When I went to the doctors, I was like, I'm not going to paint anything in my mind. Just tell me what it is. I'll fix it. Or do I need to do to take care of myself so I can live a lot longer? And the thing is, and I think once you take it and you go in and you go in with the mindset just to like not be worried, or I guess just to willing to hear another person out, that's a small step. I say a small step. I think I'm gonna say big step forward to you making a change in your life, to actually becoming a better person, to actually hearing what other people have to say, instead of just hearing your own echo chamber in your mind, or the group of toxic people you have around you. Now, like I said, Kevin will be an icon. He will be someone who will always be remembered for standing on what he believed in. Let's just get that like facts. He stand on what he believed in. Like I said, even though I don't agree with 100% of it, I agree with 50% of what he was saying. And we have to understand, men leave behind legacies. It says a lot about us, like what you'll be remembered for. Jordan Peterson will probably be another person. Once he goes, I'll probably be sad, because the man has actually he's helped boys of all different races, even black, to my knowledge. I've really figured out what he's been doing. So, and I consider Kevin doing some stuff to get us talking, but more often than not, he wants to, like, let's be real. He wanted us to win. He kept preaching that in most of the streams. He said, I don't care about that. I care about us winning, us getting back to the best of what we were.
Right.
And not all of us were the best, but there was more best, but there were more of us that were at our top peak as opposed to what we are now. And I do agree with that because, like I said, most of our boys, most of our girls, like, just so separated, divided, and there's no, like I said, it's not a common consensus on anything. But he was the one that just came in. I'm like, yo, where did this guy come from? That's really where he came from.
Right.
And it just kind of seemed like at the time that it was needed for someone to, like, really speak about the things that was uncomfortable, he came right in the nick of time to really get here and to say, guys, and going on other platforms to tell them, like, listen. He even said, like, I'm just here to tell you guys what it is. And also I remember him talking on one platform where he said, my goal is to pass on the torch.
Yeah.
I want to point to you guys once I got here. I do remember him saying that. That's all, and he said that's all I can do. Like, all I can do is just do all this. And I have seen, and I did see him a lot, like, being stressed on some of his panels, like, to when he was trying to talk to some of these ladies because he just wanted them to understand, because he's like, I just really want to understand you. Now, you may not see a lot of that, guys, but I watched a lot of his shows, and I've seen maybe like 5 to 6 where he was just like, guys, the man ain't crying, but I know he's crying on the inside right now. Like, this is really killing him because he's just trying to, he'll keep going at it even for the betterment of his own health.
Right.
Like, he was really trying to plug it into his sisters, like, sisters, listen, y'all really want to be well, y'all really want to be right of what y'all trying to go for. This is what the man comes with. You don't have to shit on the average man just so you can have a better life. You don't have to do that.
Mhm.
But also on the other hand, he would tell them he would get on the guys like, guys, you can't be the boss if you can't pay for anything. But also you have to be a leader, you have to be a man, you have to be willing to bite down on your 10 toes and really just go by what you believe in and really set the standard for any of these ladies that you choose to be your wife. So I rocked with some of the stuff he was saying, and even to this day, I still agree with what he's saying. Do our ladies belong to us? That I think that stream still hits me in a way where it's like some sense I felt what he was saying, and it's like, yeah, I can still talk to my sisters, but they feel like they belong to me. I mean, to us itself, not property. We're talking about, like, actually one unit, one mind. Whenever we're together with
Yeah,
them.
like one band, one sound. Yeah.
Thank you. You got it, Riva.
Right.
See, the sister knows music. And the thing is, I think it's more credit to you to how you take care of yourself, which is why me, Kirk, and all the other guys, like, we give you a lot of praise because not because you're worthy of it, because you have shown it. Like I said, actions speak louder than words, and I'm a big advocate of that. And as I go through life, I gotta be able to really show my future offspring that, listen, you have to be a person of integrity, of character, especially my little girls, if I ever have any. Like,
right.
Like, I want your mother that I pick for you to be the most exemplary specimen of what feminine energy is. Because only she can teach you that, sweetheart. I can't teach you that. I can teach you to look for the guy that you need to look for because I'm a vet man, obviously. But I said, Kevin, like I said, he did all this stuff. Like, like stuff. Some of the stuff had already existed, but I think Kevin bringing it into the light and making it more known to everybody, which is why technically he blew up the way he did, because he was, like I said, he wanted to see us win. The man knew his knowledge. The man talked about the 90s, talked about the 80s. Like, he talked about all of that. Like, he had all the information that was there. And the man was a fighter of cancer too. So
yeah,
that was another thing. That was the biggest thing. I'm like, I never heard somebody, first of all, it's some of that cancer did take Chadwick Boseman's life. So I'm surprised that he fought back that stuff. He's able to combat that. Right. So I was actually glad to hear that a black man actually fought that off. So that was really good. That was really good to hear. And the sad part of this is, we're not, trust me, the people who are celebrating this, sweet, listen, all he's done, he's passed on the torch and he's lit a fire in everybody who was a supporter of him, and also who saw, especially the young men that really wanted, the ones who was trying to do right by themselves to level themselves up to become a better tier version of themselves.
Yep.
there, trust me, it's never going to go away. All his, I think this. I think that's what I'm gonna see. I think everything that he has done would never be in denial and waste, or will ever go down the drain, because it's always going to be there, and people that he touched or people who had conversations with him. Like Reva, like, even, I'm not saying this is ever going to happen to you, you know, whenever someone's time is to, you know, pass on to the next life. I would say, I think how your children, if you decide to ever have any, are going to remember you in one of the most positive light. And what and your followers and subscribers are going to know that you were a woman of integrity, of character, and a person that actually does have love in her life, and is not bitter or morbid. That's the one thing that you got. Like, you actually have, like, sweetheart, you actually have atmosphere to you, like an actual peaceful atmosphere to you, that you can gravitate people and pull them in, and actually get them to get them to talk and really speak their truth. And for people to really desecrate on someone's grave is the most disgusting, foul thing I've ever seen anybody do. There have been people I'll say this. There have been people I may not have liked, even with some enemies that I may have. Like, no, I don't wish you, trust me, I'm just trying to hurt you, but I don't want you gone. Because you might, because you might have a daughter or a son or something. And for me, that always touches me, because you had me when you said you had a daughter, or you have like nieces and nephews that look up to you, because I'm an uncle myself. So it's like, I don't want somebody's niece or nephew growing up thinking that, yo, this guy hated my uncle or my dad, so therefore I gotta go be angry and hate you because I want you gone because you took him away. And it's like, well, or my uncle disliked you, therefore I want you gone. I'm like, no, you shouldn't think like that. What you should understand is that these were two men that were about their business, and it's only their business whatsoever. No one has no right to be in there. And also, if you agreed or disagree with what he's saying, just don't. Okay. I walk on eggshells on this, but don't take it up the rear. Like, really, just take a day, let it marinate in your brain, and then after the day has passed, if you could take a little bit of knowledge of what they're saying, then you'll be like, okay, maybe I was wilding out a little bit, and maybe I didn't really hear what the man had to say. And man, I did that a lot when I was very, very young. Trust me. Now that I'm older, I'm a little bit more wiser, and still getting better, guys. Like I said, I'm at fault too. I'm not infallible. And the thing is, you take these lessons with you, and as you learn with them, you become a better version of yourself as you get older. You're not supposed to degress. You're supposed to progress.
That's true.
So I will end it on this, Reva. I will say, all in all, like my man Kirk, and my man Jerome, y'all was talking from your heart. I don't hear a lot of men talk like that nowadays. They talk very bitter and morbid, similar to our modern day ladies. But not all, just some. But the thing is, for you guys to be able to come up here like actual true men and actually really stay with you, what you believe and what you love, and also the things that you vibe and feel with, that is a beautiful thing and a most masculine thing in of itself for you to do that. Because like I said, the best thing we could do is set the standard and also show people. Yes, God. Yes, ladies. Men, yes, we're pillars at the same time, but our pillars can be broken by you if we let it, if we let you get to us. And today I had to learn a really hard lesson of who to trust and what to not. And now that and even though it did happen to me today, I thought of Kevin's words, Kevin's words and my brother's words. And I'm like, all it takes for one time to show me what you are. Then after you do that, you're pretty much done. So now let's just say what this person has done personally for me is show me who they really are. And now I don't mess with you at all. I can never talk to you, and you can never be part of my life now. Because like I said, you had that one chance and you just blew it. The same would apply to me if I blew my one chance. That's it. So all in all, I'll give a shout out to the quote unquote Godfather. He's not my Godfather, but he's the Godfather of the manosphere and of the start of everything that uplifted men and try to give them some little bit of hope and also some encouragement is what I really want to say. And also for the ladies who actually had fathers like Kevin Samuels, I will say this because he was a father, y'all. So that's another thing I don't respect y'all doing, disrespecting someone else's father, because the man had a daughter. And you should be, and I'm gonna say this, you should be goddamn ashamed of yourself for doing what you did. That's ridiculous. That's somebody's daddy. You don't do that.
And he's even a lot of people daddy.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah,
one
exactly.
biological child, but he have a lot of kids out here.
Yeah, he does. And like I said, he's created. Like I said, the birds have left the nest now, and now they're going to be flying off to do their own thing. So, like I said, so this isn't over, Reva. Trust me. It's just
Mm-mm.
beginning, like Kirk said, what Jerome said, and what all the other guys who came on have said some stuff. So Reva, I know you're tired. I won't keep you here
I am
long, but
tired.
I know you are. I am too, because and the crazy thing is, I have to work out after this, and I don't know how we do it, but trust me, we persevere and we get stronger, guys. So all in all, guys, like I said, just really think about what you're doing whenever you're trying to party over someone's death. That's terrible. That's really terrible. That's terrible. I'll never be able to sleep well at night if I did something like that. Like, dude, you realize that you're dancing on a bonfire over somebody. That's not cool.
Crazy.
So all the people out here who do have a lot of respect for Kevin Samuels, respect to everybody here. Respect my sister Reva over here. Like I said, this lady's amazing. She is awesome. She has a good spirit to her. And not to mention the atmosphere. Like I said, we won't allow anybody to ruin the atmosphere over here because this sister knows what she's talking about. And I'm gonna be honest, man, she's from Wakanda, in my opinion. She's one of Dora Milaje. Most likely, she gotta be one of them to have the fortitude that she has. So everybody, be sure to like and subscribe to Reva. Be respectful here. And also, I gotta go work out, guys. Trust me, I got a lot of steam to blow off. All right.
Thank you so much,
Take care,
Jay.
sister.
Thank you so much. Bless. Jay's been around for a while, for a long time, and I don't take anything that anybody compliments or says lightly because it's a big deal. It's a really, really big deal to gather such conversations. Like, it's still mind-boggling to me that we even have this conversation right now. I still cannot fathom that we're even having this conversation over and over again. Every couple of people that call in, I'm like, what are we talking about again? But I'm glad that we are having the conversations to get back to truth, righteousness, family structure, family values, community. We're getting there. We're definitely going to get there. Raquel, I want to read this comment on the screen from Raquel. It says, I am so grateful Kevin Samuels had a platform to discuss relationships. We needed to have those uncomfortable conversations with how to help our community, and she is absolutely correct. So I'm going to drop this link for Zeus only, okay? Because I can't take anybody else. It's going to be Kevin C, Black Men Unfiltered. I'm going to bring up Zeus, and then Kashana, I'll bring you back up as well, and we can kind of like close out the conversation. But I'm just telling everybody. So if you do click the link and I don't let you on, I told you. I told you I can't. Okay, I'm tired. My eye closing. I've been up since last night practically. So yes, Mr. Kevin C, thank you so much for joining this conversation. I'm excited for what it is that you have to offer in this conversation because I've seen you on my platform before. We've talked about him before together. So by all means, please tell us how you're feeling and your thoughts and all of that.
Yeah, well, first of all, I just want to start off by saying obviously rest in power to Kevin Samuels, the Godfather. We want to give him his little bit of love and his flowers and just pay tribute and honor to him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I've gone on a few platforms and there's been some people doing some tributes and just kind of remembering him and talking about him. And this is a good thing because it's cathartic for us as a collective, for the people who, as Kevin Samuels would say, even his critics and detractors, people got a lot of things to say, and a lot of it's good. Some of it's bad, but at the same time, what he did and what he brought to, us as a group, as a collective, is it forced us to have conversations. It forced us to look at where we are, what it is we're doing, and how we can improve. And if you know anything about him, again, love him or hate him, the thing is, that he was focusing on bringing, Black people together, families, couples, and actually trying to improve the community. You can, talk about whether you agree with how he did it, because this is the one thing about Black people, and this is really good, is that, outside of us, everybody thinks we're all the same, but we know within our collective that there's different levels to how we function and operate and what we think about and what we agree and disagree on. And that's actually a good thing, So but he brought a lot to making improvements, and that's what we want to do. So I would say, the best thing we can do is is move forward as a community, and then do what he was actually talking about, which is try to come together and progress. And I would say, interestingly enough, before he kind of blew up, I was already looking at him, and I went back to his old video, because when I come to somebody's channel, I go back to their older stuff, and then of course after he blew up, everybody kind of knew him,
right?
But people forget that he started off, it's almost as people forget that he started off talking to men, and then he kind of transitioned into talking to women. And one of the things that it's almost like somebody needed to do it, but a lot of people, men, because I'm of the mindset that men need to be talking to men and women need to be talking to women. Now, here's the thing: one of the things with your channels and female-oriented channels is that we can actually sit in the cut, kind of sit in the background, come up for to offer the male perspective, but we know that you guys are mostly talking to women. But because you're doing that, we can learn. So even if you were listening to him as he was talking to the women, as a man, you're still listening and understanding. Okay, now you know what? If this is what women are looking for, and what I need to do in order to get the type of woman that I want, the wife that I want, the relationship that I want, the family that I want, I got to be doing what he's talking about. See, and these are, and these are things that we should be taking away from what creators are doing. And it's nice that you have folks just at the grassroots level getting online and talking about these things and having these conversations. And again, he had just happened to be the one guy who stood out among everybody else. And there was some controversy, but at the same time, like I said, if you really pay attention to his words, at the core of what he was trying to do, and what we need to continue to do going forward, is bring together families, bring together couples, and bring the community forward. Because I see as what we're doing now is we're kind of on a slow rebuild as it relates to where we're going with the Black collective. We're literally on a slow rebuild. There's some people that's not going to make it, and it is what it is. But for the most part, you bring one person on, you bring the next on, and next on, next on, and the next thing you know, we're back where we're supposed to be and doing great and amazing things. So, and one thing that people talk about too with him, I know his focus, kind of centered around that high value man concept. But here's the thing: he also gave love to the blue collar brothers.
He sure did.
He actually ran the whole spectrum. And matter of fact, when he actually, and I looked for his shows when he specifically talked about, okay, look, I know I focus on the high value man concept, but you know what? Don't forget those guys in the center. Don't forget those guys in that middle, because if there are guys, because I consider myself one of those guys in the middle, right? And I'm a little bit better or worse, but at the same time, there are women that are on your same range that are in that middle too. So that's your group that you need to be picking from. And, and as somebody who's in a really great marriage with a loving wife and a wonderful relationship, and we vibe, great compatibility, and doing great and amazing things, you can literally listen to him. And actually, it's interesting because you hear also how married couples paid attention to what he was saying and actually improved their marriages too.
Sure did.
Yeah. So he wasn't just talking. So he was literally, in the vein of talking to, specifically, I guess, to one group. He was literally talking to everybody, because you could just kind of take information and use that and go, you know what, I could be doing better here, I could be doing better here, and I could be doing better here. So this is one of the things that he kind of forced us to do. And then I suspect one of the things that happened as a residual effects of his presence is that you had people, because I was one of the ones that was doing it too. I started to, I always kind of advise young men, but I started doing it more and more and more. So, this is one of the things that we need to be doing too. People who are in happy, loving relationships, go out and talk to your family, go out and talk to friends, go out and talk to, people who are willing to listen. I don't really talk to women too much, because like I said, I don't really know how things go from a woman's perspective. But if they ask me something about men, I'll give them that advice.
Right.
But, so yeah, that's kind of how he improved us in, a lot of ways. And if we continue to do that, then we'll all be better for it as a group.
I agree.
Yeah, I know you've been on for a while, and I know there's some people who, and I talked to a few people, who knew him a little bit closer probably than you did, and some of them, there's varying levels of responses to it, and some of them really broke up. And I just kind of wanted to get on and just talk to him a little bit and just let him know that, hey, you know, process this the way you need to. Make sure you're spending time with family, and
Yep.
you know, because some people are taking it really hard.
I
You know,
know.
and rightly so. You know, based on their relationship. You know, because you know, you see all the testimonies where people talking about how he and listening to him literally changed something in their life. So
And I want to say too, don't nobody get it twisted, okay? I think like yesterday I was like in a bit of like shock,
mhm.
you know, again because I always say like a lot of people watch him and see him more than they see their own families because they're glued to the, you know, he's Monday night, Friday, Wednesday, whatever, you know, Instagrams. And so I agree with that. And I know, I mean, I saw people like Anton, you know, crying. And then I went and I saw different aspects as well. The same how you guys were doing, I was doing the same thing and spreading love to the people that I do know, that I know are
Yeah.
close friendships, just talked to, just spoke to. And so it is hard. And it just dawned on me right now while you were talking. Guys, I really encourage everybody in the comment section, everybody who's watching this stream, if you're watching it live, if you're watching it later, the replay, everybody keep keep his mom in your prayers because it just dawned on me that Mother's Day is on Sunday.
Yeah.
And that's going to be very weird for her. I'm sure they had a lot of communication of whatever was going to take place. So, you know, just keep her near and dear to your heart, like, because this is a really tough time for her, I'm sure. And even what she said, finding out on social media is like, it's insane. But I agree with everything that you're saying. The legend, the icon.
Yeah, he started a really good conversation, and the interesting thing is, so this kind of goes back, and I don't want to do too much because I know you want. I want to go ahead and just come in and get on off because you've been on for a while, but. You got the red pill manosphere that kind of focuses on what white people are going through and their issues and problems and relationships, and every group has them, right? And then what we did was kind of, you know what, that's a good thing, but we'll break it off and make it our own, because now you have two separate entities, and literally he kind of, stood out as somebody who, again, pushed the conversation forward and actually challenged all of us, really. Right. And it's funny. You listen to his words, you listen to the interactions, you take his advice, and everybody's got their little godfatherisms that they're gonna continue to say and throw out there, and that's how we're gonna remember him. But at the same time, if we all just understand what he was trying to do, again, love him or hate him, at the end of the day, it's about forward progress for us as a collective, because we got to remember that we're a specific and a very special group, and we have a whole lot of things that are coming at us from external forces that literally are trying to keep us separated and not see us progress. So knowing that, then we have to actually do things among ourselves to counter that. Because he saw over the years how the divide between men and women got bigger and bigger and bigger. We need to close that gap and bring it back to where it's supposed to be. We do that, the families, the communities, and we'll be where we're supposed to be in the hierarchy of society and what it is we're supposed to be doing as a collective. And that's what it's all about. It really is.
I genuinely agree with that. And it takes all of us. It takes everybody, everybody playing their part and continuing that conversation, as you said. So thank you so much, Mr. Kevin C., for coming up and offering your perspective.
Yeah. Hey, continue to do what you're doing. There's a few of y'all out here that are really special, especially on the women's side. And we really appreciate you. I won't, call out names or whatever, but I mean, you're one of the ones that stand out as somebody who's doing really great and amazing things. We appreciate you. We appreciate the demeanor, the disposition, and how you come across. And you are serving as a positive, amazing example of how women should be and what guys should be looking for. And when we do those things, I'm telling you, we'll get to where we're supposed to go and what we're trying to do. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kevin C. Thank you.
All right. Hey, you take care. Take care of yourself. Okay.
You too. Thank you so much. Blessings. I want to read this comment. It says, River, I love what you're doing. Thanks for the tribute to KS. He will be sorely missed by us Black men in the Black manosphere. Keep his legacy going. Thank you so much. And I even saw a comment. I can't find it now. And it was somebody in the comment section saying like, hey, I'm a white man and he's done a lot for me too. I don't want to be left out of this conversation. He's done a lot for us in relationships as a whole. So I just wanted to say that. Black Men Unfiltered. I'm gonna go ahead and bring you up. Hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you? How are you? Can you hear
I'm
me?
good. Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah. How are you today? It's my first.
Uh-oh, can't hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Can I hear? Yes.
Okay, that's my first time being on your platform. Ooh, dreads everywhere. Hold on.
Welcome.
But yeah, I just wanted to come on. I watch you a lot, but I haven't never came up. So
Thank
I
you.
want to say that I appreciate the work that you do as a content creator. Thank you for everything that you do. You are amazing.
Mm.
And I think that the where we're getting caught up now is that we don't give people the flowers while they can smell them. And so in this moment, I want to be able to, being on your platform, I want to congratulate you on your success, give you your flowers while you can smell them. I know you're sleepy, I know you're tired, and I want to.
No, I'm here though. I'm here.
I just want to, you represent what your shirt says, right? You represent love, and sometimes
Thank you.
love is a reflection. Talking about going into Kevin, love is a reflection. Sometimes it's not always pretty, it's not always cute, and I think that in our community today, we listen to more of the tone than we do the message. And I said on my platform just yesterday that if you were walking down the street and a car was coming and you didn't see the car and the car didn't see you, would you rather me say, "Hey, get out of the road for a second, please," or would you rather me say, "Hey, car's coming"? It doesn't. The tone should not matter if I'm saving your life.
Saving your life.
Right? There's so many, there's so many women out here that have, and my sisters included. I'm talking from an anecdotal experience here. My sister is one of those women that fell off like that. Who was very smart in school, had aspirations to do great things, and I told her, "Don't mess with Pookie and Ray Ray," right? And she went messing with Pookie and Ray Ray. The first time she had sex, she got pregnant.
Oh,
Yeah. So then her life changed. Right now, you're who's who amongst American students. You got your GPA is out of the roof. You got the acceptances from nursing schools, and now all of that is put on hold because of a child. Then after that, he put another child in you. Then after that, he leaves you, and then after that, you find somebody else and get pregnant again. Now, how is life, right? And so I try, and so even I'm coming from an anecdotal experience about trying to instill that in her. And before Kevin, our uncles used to sit around the barbecue and talk like this. Right? Our uncles used to have these conversations. Our uncles used to say the same things that he's saying right now, what he used to say.
Right.
And in the words of Kevin Samuels right now, if I can quote him, "You can't make this shit up." Right? And so, I think the tone thing, I think a lot of people get off on the tone, but I think the harsh truth is the truth, and it does not matter. And my grandmother used to say, from a religious standpoint, my grandmother used to tell me all the time, I love her so much. She's still alive, almost 90. She
Oh,
said,
wow.
yeah. She said to me one time that the truth is the truth, even if it comes from the devil. So all these people out here, I just had a moment. All these people out here that are talking, he's this, he's gay, he's all this negative stuff. Women out here celebrating, and I got caught up in the mess today. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Security Boss. I was just on the phone with her. That is my mentor. That's my auntie. I love her so much, and she helps me a lot on my platform. And I just got through speaking with her, and she said, "You know what, Black man, do not get caught up in that mess," because she saw something that I did earlier today. A big old girl was messaging me saying, "Oh, your daddy dead now. What are you going to do that your daddy's dead?" And I said, "Well, I guess Popeye's Chicken's going to run out of chicken today because all the big girls are going to be celebrating." And so when I said that back, she's, "No, you can't do that. Get offline. Don't respond to these people."
Right. Because
you're
they're
gonna
just dragging you with them.
Right. And so
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. But tonight, normally I have my barbershop talk on tonight where the fellas come in, and it's going to be kind of rough. I'm still going to do it, but during the time that Kevin would come on, I would be on. And so what I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to do YouTube silence during that time. I'm going to cut my show completely in half tonight. Like, I want to do a show tribute to him. I'm going to have people call in and say how they feel about him, what he meant to him, what they meant, what he meant to them. And then after that, I'm going to shut it down, and I'm just going to leave it live with his picture up, just going to go complete YouTube silent during the time that he would be on. I'm not going to do anything during that time. The man meant a lot to the culture. He meant a lot to me. He meant a lot to a lot of other men, because he inspired me to do what I'm doing, right? He inspired so
Mm.
many other ones, like my brother Sir Hill Speaks. If anybody knows who that is,
Mhm.
subscribe to him as well. But that's my brother. We and him collab a lot together, and it wouldn't be a Sir Hill Speaks without Kevin. It wouldn't be a Black Men Unfiltered Network without Kevin, because he inspired us. We were already talking like this because I'm a blunt guy, but I'm like, damn, wait, oh yeah, I got to do something, right? And so I'm going to get on YouTube and create my own YouTube channel. I started in September. Hit my 1,000 subscribers 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you on that. I appreciate that. And he's just an inspiration. When I heard it, it had the impact of Kobe Bryant to me a little bit.
Mhm.
Because when they told you Kobe passed away, my sister called me and said Kobe passed away. I said, girl, stop. I don't want to hear that. The same sister texted me the other day, Kevin Samuels passed away. I said, oh, girl, they just playing. Kevin was just on last night. I don't want to hear that. And I'm all day, I'm working, and all of a sudden they confirmed it, and my heart just hit my stomach.
Mhm.
I couldn't believe it. It was just something I couldn't believe. It just hit me so
Yeah.
hard. I'm like, oh, I started calling other people, other content creators. It's just hard, and it's
Mhm.
also hard to see. But Kevin, this is for Kevin, because I know he would say this with a sound effect. But
Yeah.
e-
Oh.
yeah, even in his death, he's right. Kevin talked about a lot of women and what they need to do to be better, and a lot of women heard how he was saying it, the tone, but they didn't hear the message. He was talking about how basically Kevin overall was saying, women, get it together. Stop being
Mhm.
out here opening your legs to every man. Stop having 4 or 5 kids in your 20s, and then when you get in your 30s, you want to settle down and looking for a lawyer, a doctor, a man that's making $200,000 a year. Come on, stop it. You have to be realistic in the decisions that you made,
Yeah.
and that's what he put out,
Yep.
right? And so, but he's even in his death, he's being proven right, because now women are having bonfires. Women are saying, "Thank you, Jesus, he's dead." Oh, thank you, God, for removing toxicity.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
all these men are losing their daddy. What you gonna do now that daddy's dead? He preached. And the one that pissed me off the most, he preached about women dying alone. But how did he die? And I'm like, wow, you guys were literally. His mom didn't even know about it. Social media put it out before his mom knew. And now his mom is probably still watching the same social media with these people saying, your son, we're glad your son is dead.
It's
Can we
crazy.
just take a moment to he's talked about these very women, and these are the women that want good
They're
men.
just showing themselves there, but that's the thing. They're showing themselves to the men that are
Mhm.
like, "Oh, you're like that? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay."
Yeah. And Kevin, and I'm going to put him in the range, not in a negative manner, but I'm going to put him in the power ranking right now. They're going to make him a martyr. That's what's going to happen. Keep on talking. He's going to become more powerful even in his death. But I will say this: most women out here right now are celebrating, and what's going to happen in his regard, that Kevin's going to become bigger. He's going to become greater. People are going to start quoting him. His videos are still going to be reviewed. People are going to say, remember Kevin said this, remember Kevin said that, right? Because we were doing it anyway.
Mhm. 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 I do it all the time.
Yeah, I'll be in the middle of my show and I'll say, oh, hey, Kevin, did y'all hear what he said today? And he's just going to get bigger and bigger. And I just don't understand the negativity behind it. I don't understand, even if you don't like someone. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I'm putting him in the rankings of, how Trump was when he first came in office, and
Mhm.
Trump made all the racist people come out of the shadows. Right?
Right.
Now look at Kevin. Kevin is going to be so powerful. He's going to make all the women that are not good for you, fellas. Listen, all the women that are not good for you, they're exposing themselves right now. Be watching for those, because those are the women that are going to look at you in the club or look at you in a place and try to be your wifey, and they're exposing themselves right now, cheering the death of a man.
Yeah.
Because he told the truth. It's always the truth tellers that take it. Malcolm X, truth teller, gone. Kevin Samuels, truth teller, gone. So that's all I want to say. I know you, like I said again, you're tired. This is my first time on. I look to be back on more. When are you on? Because I want
For
to make
sure.
sure.
It's funny because I actually took a break from
Mhm.
live streaming. I wasn't even planning to do it today. That's why this is so kind of like abrupt, but I couldn't not do it. But I'm gonna stay close to my channel and start to come back on. I was doing like a couple days a week, but I'll notify you. I'll let you know for sure, because I want to be here for you guys, you know, especially for my subscribers that are here and kind of in a space where they want to continue certain conversations. I'm always gonna have the conversations. I'm always gonna do the reactions.
Right.
I'm always going to, you know, have that space for that. But I also still want to genuinely bring this space for us to connect, you know,
Exactly.
and talk and release that information. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing your perspective. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And please, 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 after these last two people, please get you some rest because we need you too.
I'm tired. I'm tired.
All right.
I've been up all night. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I'll be looking for, I subscribed already. I've been subscribed, but my notifications are on. So please, please let me know when you're going on so I can support you as much as
Thank
possible.
you so much, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Blessings. Very nice person. I've never seen him ever before. I think I saw that name before. I feel like I saw that name before. Right, Kashan? Haven't we seen that name before? But it was somebody else that was talking. It was Black Man something. Black Man Global. Black Man something. I don't remember, but
That name definitely seems familiar.
right? Remember? I feel like we heard that name
Mhm.
before. Zeus, you're on. Where are you?
Hi.
There you
I
are,
was
brother.
finishing my breakfast. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Breakfast. Oh my gosh. And it's
Yeah.
8:30
Yes.
where I am. That's crazy.
Oh, it's
Right.
8:30 a.m. Yeah. You've been on since 4 a.m. here, so
Oh wow. Dang,
yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah.
That's so weird. Brother, how are you?
I'm good. I got engaged.
Mm.
Yeah.
You're what?
I got engaged.
Oh, congratulations, man.
Oh,
Yeah. Thanks.
congratulations.
Yeah. This is a rough one today. I was not
Mm.
expecting that at all.
Yeah.
Because the woman that I'm with, she started listening to Kevin Samuels like 3 months ago.
Mhm.
She's like, wow, that guy sounds a lot like you. She had no idea that I would listen to him and things like that. And yeah, man, this is a rough one. Changed my
Yeah.
life for sure, man.
It's surreal. So surreal right now.
I mean, I think the first video I ever saw of him was like he was talking to this guy that was 28, didn't make any money, overweight. He's like,
Mhm.
and what do you offer? Bruh, that hit me square in the face. I was that guy.
I mean,
It hit me
that's the
so
thing
hard
about
in the
Kevin.
face.
That's the thing about Kevin is he be talking to somebody else, but he'll hit right on something right where you are, and now it's making you look at yourself like, wait, you talking to me? You talking to me?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Jeez. And then yeah,
Man.
dude, since then I lost like 30 kilograms, got in shape. I mean, you know, fixed everything, got a newer place, started wearing nicer clothes,
Mhm.
you know, all those things. And yeah, man, dude changed my life. I swear to this day I wouldn't be with the woman I am with if it wasn't for him, dude. I
Mm.
swear. There's no way possible. Because she's like, oh wow, you're a big guy, but you're like clean and you like keep your beard all fresh. And, you know, like you wear your clothes that actually fits you, you know, like, like you know, like all this stuff
Mhm.
matters, you know.
It
Stuff
does.
matters. Yeah,
Definitely
man.
does.
This is a rough one, man.
Mhm. It's just insane. And again, it's because I keep saying it, but it's because it's so true. It's like because people are so used to seeing this person every day, right? Like all on Instagram, you can be like scrolling through Instagram and then you'll just get like a I do, you know, a notification like, oh, Kevin's live. And I always like, even if I'm tired or if I'm doing something else, I always like pop in and be like, love you, Kevin. You're great. You're amazing. You know, keep up the great work. Awesome. You know, and then go to sleep or whatever the case is. And, you know, it's hard for a lot of people. And I say a lot of people, but I have to say, especially men, because it's somebody who's advocating for them and who is a man, you know, speaking up for them and like taking their power back, you know. So it's a hard thing, but I have to keep saying like it's hard, it's crazy, it's insane. I can't believe it still. But in spite of, again, being attached to or a part of these conversations in live time when people are talking about this man's legacy for, years and years to come, to know that we were like, we could be like to our grandkids, like, oh yeah, yeah, we were there, like, oh yeah, we were a part of the conversation. We saw it live. Really? Like somebody who changed the game. And I genuinely know that it's not something that's going to be in vain, because it's going to ignite people to go harder for our communities, for our relationships. It's going to ignite people to go harder for the love, the communication between spouses, the two family households growing up, and people just trying to get it right. Like, so many people got married through listening to him while he's here. Imagine now. And I want to just highlight this comment really quick from Alexandra, because I know how she feels about Kevin. I've gone to Kevin's channel while he's doing a live stream late at night, and I just pop in and I see Luke Hazley in the comment section, and I'll see Alexandra there. And she's like, I cried all morning and last night. I just can't even believe it. I've always said how much he's changed my life, and to lose him so suddenly was so shocking. It's very shocking, and it's heartbreaking to say the least, and it's just insane. It's definitely something that like rocks your brain, like you're like, wait, what? I'm still doing it now. I've already come to terms with it, and I'm still coming on here, and every time we're talking, I'm still like, wait, what? like I don't know. And
It really
it's would you say?
I said it doesn't feel real. It really doesn't feel real.
It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel real. And it's insane. I look at Instagram, I look at even like the posts, and I look at everything. I'm like, what? But
it's a weird one, because I'm awake whenever people are asleep back home, or people that spread these things at like 2 a.m. back home. I'm eating lunch and I get a message. I'm like, dude, Kevin Samuels died. I'm like, huh? Dude, what? So I have all day to think about it. I can't go to sleep. I can't like just go do something. I'm like, oh, dude, like, such a weird feeling, man. Like how, I don't know if I ever told you this, but like I've had a few sessions with him before. I'm like how to conduct myself in the workplace and how to dress accordingly in the workplace. I never dress like this at work, by the way. But yeah. It's
wow.
Taught me how
I didn't know
my,
that.
like how to like style my hair, how to cut my beard, what clothes I can actually wear, being a bigger dude, like things like that. Yeah, it's so strange, man.
Yeah, it is. And again, a father to so many. Okay.
Yeah.
Or an uncle, father, an uncle, like the big brother, a friend, somebody that everybody just looked at as like an icon. Like, yeah, you can, even when the whole thing happened with like the Chris Rock and Will Smith thing, like even in that situation, it was like everybody was like waiting, like, oh, what Kevin gonna say about this? Like just knowing that he, regardless of what's going on in the media, in life, and in relationships, you always can count on him to give, like, hit the nail on the head in every aspect of like, yep, he got it. Yep, see. So it's a lot. And the thing is, even for me, like I heard the rumors the day before, and then I was like, okay, I have to get off social media. I literally cannot deal with this. And then when it was finally confirmed, I'm like, oh gosh, like then it became even more real, even though I know it was already real. And I'm like, no social media, so even probably this evening, I'm going to be like, no, thank you. Even though it's hard because we live in such a quick society where people just move on quickly. So, but it's hard enough to even see it or see his page pop up or see, because it's just like, damn, knowing that he wanted to do so much more. But a lot of people know, I've heard, I went on, was it Anton? I think Anton's page and TLA's page, the lead attorney, and I've heard a lot of these people who know what he was planning for, and I know that they're going to, in other aspects, still carry the torch and fulfill certain things and do their part of the mission. And again, I'm so grateful to this man for igniting the conversation, for giving us stuff to talk about, for you know, creating this where we can connect with each other. You know, again, I have to say it. A lot of people would not have even known who I am if they didn't know who he was and watch like my first reaction video to him. So how could I not come on here and show honor to this man? Like I always did anyway. You know, I even on his live stream is going like a million miles an hour. Like, love you, Kevin, you're amazing. You know, always trying to show that gratitude, because regardless of me being another content creator, whatever, regardless of that, I know he's on a bigger scale doing the mission 100-fold, taking the backlash. He already did all that stuff so that people can come and freely talk and not really face so much of what he faced already. So it's insane. It's really, really insane. And especially like, you know, Zeus and Kashan. I mean, we talk about this all the time. We talk about this all the time. All the time. We always say, and just like Kevin said, or just like we always mention his name.
His name always comes up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was saying this, somebody, I want to read this super chat. It says, even in his grave, Kevin still has the last laugh. The world is still talking about Kevin. We have to think about that. Black, white, Indian, Asian, others, RIP. And it's so funny because I said that today, like trying to lighten my own mood. I was like, boy, Kevin, always breaking the internet. You know, like no matter what is going on, anytime something happens with this man, he opens his mouth, he says something, or even in this aspect, it's like always like putting everybody in a frenzy. Like everybody's like, stop, halt. We have to figure out what's going on. And he touched so many people. So many people, me included.
Done more good than bad. The legacy will keep going.
The legacy will live on. The legacy will live on forever, 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 forevermore. You know, I know I've always mentioned him, and I want to say, okay, I know I'm a little tired, so y'all can keep me in check just in case I start tripping, but you know, you get a little loopy. But I've always quoted him. I've always said his name. I feel like I've been sometimes in spaces where I feel like people have been afraid to say his name, or like afraid to say that maybe they heard that from him, or he said, let's not pretend. Okay. He is the GOAT when it comes to these conversations, because he brought it to the biggest audience. I mean, having conversations, relationship conversations, and there's other people who do it. There's other people who've been doing it, but he's a special person, special human being, because he commanded that attention where he's, you know, music video and talking with Nicki Minaj on her live stream. And I mean, Nicki Minaj calling on his live stream, and, you know, just talking to so many different people and being in different places and interviews, and just bringing it to the forefront and causing, if nothing else, whether you like him, you don't like him, you're indifferent, causing people to have real deep conversations about life, love, happiness, what you require, what you don't require, what you like, what you don't like, what you'll settle for, what's not worth settling for, all of that. So great icon, amazing icon, amazing legend that will never be replaced. Okay, he's only going to keep amplifying. Kevin C, thank you so much. It says, Kevin Samuels, a godfather, will be missed. Love him or hate him, he was a change agent. I love that. Change agent to improve Black family and community. RIP Godfather, for sure. And again, I have to say, like, I genuinely want everybody to send your prayers out to his mom, please, because I can't even fathom. Okay, Mother's Day is right there, and the fact that she came out and said that she heard about it on social media, and just, you know, you have to pray for his family, his daughter, his loved ones, his closest friends. You know, I really pray for comfort for them, because as much as it's impacting us, his relatives feel it like
10 times more.
Because he's more than just the Kevin Samuels. He's their cousin, their brother, their friend, their this, their, you know. So my heart definitely goes out to them, and I'm definitely going to pray for them. And when I say that, I'll be for real. I'll be like, Lord, you know, definitely, I really do it. I don't just say it. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Um, I've been a little it's funny. It's funny how this all transpired. I'm just gonna end it off like this. We're just gonna keep talking. It's funny how it all transpired because I kind of got into a space of like needing like a little bit of a break to kind of like reevaluate like our conversations and like what am I doing in structure, and like I'm very like a person that's easily to just detach from something and hone in on myself and like rest. That's why I said women are very quick to do that. That's why women, if you're married, check on your man, because when men are driven, it's very different than when a woman is driven. When a man is driven, he will not eat, he will just focus, he will be tunnel vision, and you have to make sure that you are keeping an account on his health and his well-being. Our men too, make sure you guys are getting checkups. Make sure you're taking time to rest. Listen to your body. It's very vital. You know, a lot of men do not like going to the doctor, but you have to go, especially when you get older. You definitely have to go and know what's going on. But anyway, so I was just kind of like trying to like regroup and I don't know, just thinking about all kinds of stuff. And the day that I started recording some reactions for you guys, I was sitting right here at this desk and I just saw the lead attorney was on and I was like, let me just, see what the lead attorney is talking about. I haven't seen him in a while. And I was trying to figure out what's going on with the Johnny Depp, situation. And I know lead attorney is going to have all the information. And I'm sitting there and I saw the comment pop up and I'm like, and it was kind of bizarre because it was like the day that I'm like, okay, let me just, focus. The day before I had done a Kevin Samuels reaction. I haven't done that in months. I haven't done that. And I saw the comment and then I saw somebody say, stop it. This is a hoax. I checked all the internet sources, didn't see anything. And, I kind of like later on saw it and saw what it really was. And it's hard, it's hard even as a content creator to just like react to stuff like as business as you. It's hard like to go as like business as usual when like it's such a heavy impact, because I remember that I'm very loyal in my thinking. And I remember sitting here and having conversations and reacting to his stuff. And it's just like weird that that's not even like new stuff won't happen again. It's weird to me. But when it comes to live streaming, when it comes to my reactions will always be going on. Okay? Always. My live streams, I'm going to make sure that I find out an actual structure schedule and come back to you guys so that we can have this space to reconnect, because it's so vital for all of us, for the collective, to have these natural organic conversations about relationships and life and love, and allowing other people who are in the comment section, like how I'm allowing all these people to come up, like allowing you guys to come up and share parts of the conversation that you think are necessary, sharing parts of the conversation that you deem, like, hey, well, this person hasn't said this, but I experienced this and we should change this. That's how we all grow as a collective. That's how we all incite change, so I don't want that to fade. Okay. And there's a lot of people who are doing the work. We have, again, the Anton Lapeef Network and Anton Daniels. Okay. Like together and apart. The lead attorney and like, just so many different aspects of these conversations that we can all gather and watch and still maintain. The times are going to be weird when he's not live streaming anymore. It's definitely going to affect us all, but I know his legacy is going to just only amplify. That's the only thing it can only grow exponentially, Do you, Sean, and do you, Zeus, have any final thoughts that you want to add to this conversation?
I would just like to see how his words will still stand true in 10 years. Those videos will still be there, and I'm sure they're still going to be the same. I'm sure they're still going to hit the same. That's
so
the
true.
issue. They're still
So
going to hit
true.
the same. So,
true.
yeah. I mean,
Very, very
that's
true.
all.
Kashan.
Like I said earlier, he opened up this conversation that is not going anywhere. Though people think it's over, it's just beginning.
It is.
You got so much more to do with it. So much further to go.
So much further to go. And I want to say from my heart, here I've said it so many times, and that's what makes me feel good. Is that every chance I got, I was defending Kevin. Like I'm like, oh, who Kevin? Oh no, because Kevin is the one. Because come on, let's and but I just wanted to say, like, again, thank you, Kevin Samuels, for inciting such powerful conversations. Thank you, Kevin Samuels, for bringing such a strong community of different content creators together in unity because of you. Because I saw him at Lapeef. That's how I met them. I did a reaction to him being on Lapeef, and then they asked me to be on the show. And then now I have a bond with Lapeef Network, and so many people I met from Lapeef Network, and just him being that piece all together. Same thing with the lead attorney and everybody. He's been that one that's gone everywhere and brought everybody together. So I'm always going to say thank you to him and salute to him, the Godfather himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Kevin Samuels, the Kevin Samuels, Mr. Samuels, powerful man, kind man, obviously, wise man, obviously, knowledgeable man. And again, I have to tell you guys, like, make sure that you stay up on your health.
Absolutely.
And I don't know anything. Let me clarify this. I don't know anything that's going on. Only thing I know is speculation, and I don't listen to speculation.
Absolutely.
I wasn't there. I don't know. All I'm saying is, as men, I know it's easy to go and go and go and go and go and not stay focused and maintain that healthy lifestyle. Your health is your real wealth. Don't get it twisted. Because with wealth, you can have the cash and you can have the this and you can leave it. Health is your real wealth. And everybody who's new here and who's just joined, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know there's a lot of these conversations going on, and so I appreciate everybody who's like clicked off, clicked on, and jumped in, jumped out, and spending these 4 hours with me. I'm the 5-hour queen. But I can't even believe I've been on here for 4 hours. I'm so tired. And I want to thank you guys too for just taking me as I am as well, because I literally came on here tired. Like, I literally was in the car when I was changing the time, like, hey guys, I'm coming, trying to get here just to meet you guys and have this conversation with you guys. And just, again, being here to just express with me. It does a lot for me as well, not just for you guys. I come on here so we can all share this moment together, because I know how much Kevin's message meant for all of us, so I just want to say that thank you guys so much for joining, for coming in. And I wouldn't be me if I didn't do something a little special before I bow out. So Zeus, I'm going to drop you down. Kashan, I'm going to drop you down. I'm going to drop myself down. Thank you guys. I love you guys. Take care, be safe, and I will see you guys in the next video.